What up, people? What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. And reserved for the best is super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at 6th_element_comic. What's good, everybody? You are on the 6th Element of Hip Hop. I'm your host, Reno Noir. This is our co-host, Stu Dog, in the building. What's good, Stu? Can you hear us? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We got a special guest today. Yeah. We got a special guest in the building today. You guys all know him, but you know him as Spadeonomics, the comic dude. The extra cool, laid back, good guy. But right now, we're gonna be introduced to Spade the heel, Spade the wrestler, Spade the bad guy, Spade the villain. Let's holler at him. Spade.
What's good, bros? What's good, everybody?
How you doing, sir?
What's going on?
Kind of pissed off, man.
It's good to meet you.
Talk to us, man. Tell us what's going on with you.
All right, so and Reno, thank you for that introduction. So everybody knows me from Spadeonomics Comics. What you might not know is I am a professional wrestler. And so this past weekend, my buddy Dump Sanders, he's the general manager of New South Pro Wrestling, where I was last at, calls me up. It's like, hey, man, you want to come down for the show? I hadn't wrestled in a while. Just come check it out. I said, sure, why not?
Yeah.
So I go down to support my brother. Me and him go way back. He's at the beginning of my career. And I don't take too kindly to another or a wrestler. If I'm there as a fan, gonna, get up in my face, you can talk trash or whatever. I'm gonna give you trash talk right back.
Right.
But when you put your hands on me, is where I draw the damn line.
That's when it's gone too far.
That's when it's gone too far, way too far. It's like, you can talk to me, you can talk at me, you can even talk down to me, but you're not going to insult my intelligence, and you're not going to put your hands on me.
No dick beaters on Spade. Now, what if they put their dick beaters on your homeboy?
Same thing, bros for life. I got my brother's back.
I think we got a good example of that live on video. Well, I guess that's not live, but it's on video.
Wait a minute. So Spade, he put his hands on you?
He put his hands.
Yeah.
He put paws on you?
Put paws on the Spade?
He put paws on the Spade?
You gonna get in my face, then you're gonna stand up over me. So likewise, somebody standing up over you, what you gonna do? You gonna stand up back and
was he trying?
Back right?
Yeah, that's an intimidation tactic. I mean, do he think you some type of chump or something?
He thought
I don't know.
He
think it's sweet around here?
He's one of them young folks, too. He's one of them young bucks.
Is that what it is?
Y'all know how them young cats can get sometimes.
Yeah. He thought
they get a little.
Yeah, they get a little pushy, and that's all
they They start smelling their piss.
Yeah.
Well, let's help me introduce this video. We got this little clip of your debut, your return to the ring, so to speak. You didn't actually get to wrestle this time.
I did, but I'm gonna explain all that after the clip.
Okay, so let's run it and let's see Spade in the ring once again. So we got Spade and we got Spade coming to the aid. Spade coming to the aid of his homeboy. Explain that storyline to us and tell us what we're looking at right here. What did we just witness?
So I'm gonna start from the beginning. When the young guy, the taller guy came out, his name is Marcus Dillon, the investment. So when he comes out, he's the one that got in my face and pushed me. And I was like, I said, you got beef with something? You got something you want to say? Like, go ahead with it. So he pushes me down. Oh man, sit your ass down. I was like, okay, all right, I got you. So when Dump Sanders comes out, big guy, like I said, he and I go way back. I told him, I said, kick his ass for me. You know, I can't do nothing because I'm your guest. I paid for a ticket. I said, kick his ass for me. He said, all right. He jumps my boy from behind. It was a bull rope match where you have to touch all four corners to win. Pinfalls, submissions, and stuff don't count. So lo and behold, he hit all four corners. He won that match. His boy, Mr. Lando Perez, Mr. Scarface wannabe, Miami Ice, decides to hit the ring and jump my boy. And I'm like, I'm looking, is anybody else going to help? Anybody else going to help? Then something just clicked. This MF put his hands on me, and now they jumping my dudes. Like, as Homer the Clown used to say, Spade don't play that.
Right.
I hit the ring, I grab the chair, they take off running. The referee looks at me, he's like, a fan can't jump the barricade. I looked at him, I said, you better recognize I'm not a damn fan, I'm a legend up in this piece.
Right. They didn't know.
They didn't know. He didn't know. So I'm like, just because you don't know, don't mean people don't know. And then they start chanting my name. I said, you hear that? I said, I'm his guest. I'm his brother. He and I go back a long way. I got his back. Rain, wind, sleet, shine, winter, summer, fall, and spring.
Any season, anytime.
Anytime, even in outer space.
Even in outer space. So I hit the ring, and then Marcus Dillon decides he wants to, hey, old man, take your old ass back to the retirement home. I said, okay, I got your retirement home right here. I said, get your young ass in the ring, and I'm going to take you to a learning tree, boy.
Okay. Take him to school.
Got to. So
man, that's exciting.
We get backstage, and you know, Dump and I are kind of sitting in his office a little bit, and he's kind of pissed off. He's a little bloody. He's like, man, he said, thank you for being here tonight. I said, no problem at all. And so then he reaches in his desk and pulls out a contract. He says, I want to sign you to a Legends deal. I said, really? I was like, well, and I asked him, I said, was that the plan for you to get me come back, or was this just kind of spur of the moment? He was like, I'm laying there unconscious, and then after I see you hit the ring and, fight him, get everybody off of me, he said, I kind of had an epiphany. I'm getting older. I know we're both, around the same age, but I need somebody that I can trust to have my back. He was like, you come in whenever you want to, whenever you're available, you make your own schedule. I said, bet. I told him, I said, give me a little bit of time, get back in some semblance of ring shape. I said, we're going to handle these two.
Man, I can't wait to see it. And well, so explain to us what, like, okay, so that, I mean, you didn't wrestle technically, but you began what's known as a storyline, right? You started the kayfabe, if you will. Is that what? So
no, we started the kayfabe. We started the angle, but
okay, help me with the terminology.
What it was the guys, like I said, jumping my homeboy like that. And if you look closely at the end of the video, when Dump's holding the cane, Miami Ice hits him so hard the cane bends.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. So all right, we getting serious up in this piece. But if I'd have caught one of them bastards with the chair,
would have been over.
Yeah, it would have been on. It would have been over for them, but it would have been on.
Hell yeah. So in that angle, when you come back, you are you gonna come back as starting the match off as the wrestler, or are you gonna be in the crowd again and come to the rescue if need be?
Oh no. This time I'm since I signed the contract, the deal. Oh, I'm on the roster, so I'm officially back as a wrestler.
Nice, nice. And you're wrestling as heel or babyface?
Babyface.
I wasn't sure, and I remember you said that. And again, I introduced you as heel. I'm sorry, but I know you used to play heel, but you playing as babyface, which for those who don't know terminology, wrestling terminology, heel is when you see the bad guy wrestlers, and then babyface is the good guy wrestlers. That's just the terminology that they use. Hello, Miss Sada. Welcome to
Hi,
the
hello,
show.
hello.
What's
Got you
up,
out in the
Sada?
bamboo forest. In the bamboo forest.
Yeah, we're on a hike, so this
Man.
is my surroundings.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, we just in here talking to Spade. He just did it. He just returned to the ring and wrestling. He's a pro wrestler, and
Oh
we got to
yes,
see a
yes.
little. Yeah, we saw a little footage of him hopping in the ring and getting and getting back into it. He didn't. We didn't get to see him slam nobody yet, but
Oh
he's in there.
man.
He's in there as a character. So next time we're gonna get to see him drop some fools. But
Oh, I'm excited.
I know, I know. So okay, where was I at? Okay, so yeah, heel is bad guy, babyface is good guy. I wasn't sure because I remember you said that, but when I seen the guy, the one that got the cane on him and he touched all four corners, he was the guy that you were coming to the rescue for. He
Mhm.
looked to me like Man Thing, Wild. What's the guy? You know what I'm talking about? Animal Man or something like that. Man Thing. What the fuck's his
George
name?
the Animal Steel.
What is it?
Was it? It's not George the Animal Steel, is it?
No. It's not Undertaker, but it's a guy. I could have swore
Mankind.
Mankind. I thought it was Man Thing or something like that. Yeah, Mankind. That's right. Yeah, Big Country. Thank you. Didn't he look? Doesn't he kind of resemble Mankind?
He reminds me of actually reminds me of a wrestler that used to go by the name of Abyss down in TNA,
Okay.
because Abyss
Yeah.
was big, but he wore a mask, or kind of a half mask, and he had the big hair too.
Right. Now, doesn't Mankind wear a mask, a half
Yeah,
mask like that, or some?
he does.
Yeah.
His mask is kind of, and their masks are kind of similar.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I always thought Mankind was a bad guy. Um, was he a bad guy? Mankind was a bad guy. Was he heel or?
When he first debuted in the WWF, he did as a bad guy. He was here, but he switched up. He went from, good guy to bad. But I think ultimately, he ended up being a baby face and having a pretty good baby face run.
Okay. So yeah, so that makes sense. It tracks. No, I was just confused. I thought that he was a bad guy, then you was helping him, and so I was like, what's going on here? But yeah, that makes sense, man. And I can't wait to see you really get in there and knock some fools' heads off, man. That's gonna be great. Do you have any idea when that match might come to fruition?
It's either going to be June the 26th or July the 2nd.
Mm,
So one
okay.
of
Not
them two
far.
dates.
Yeah.
Not far at all. And what's interesting is, if it is July the 2nd, that's going to be great, because I mean, I get to whoop somebody's ass for my birthday. My birthday
Oh,
be next day
What?
on the 30th. So what better way to pre-celebrate your birthday than kicking ass in the ring?
damn right. Damn right. That's a great birthday, man. That would be awesome, man. And I'm on the edge of my seat, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Hopefully we'll get to watch it live. That would be great, is if we could get Cooks or somebody. You could have somebody actually do it. Anybody could do it. Whoever can film it and log into to the show like we doing now.
Mm-hmm.
And you could have and then they could film it while broadcast it. We could actually watch it live. So if you could set that up, man, that'd be great. Because Cooks, sometimes he get called away to work or whatever. He got other things going on, so he might not be able to do it again. And I don't want to miss out, man. I really want to make sure we get this. So I know you're gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? So if you have whoever come with you to film it, we can watch it live, man. That's gonna be great. Viewers are gonna be on the edge of their seat for that.
I'll see if I can get some trustworthy camera people.
That would be great.
Or you could do like Spider-Man and just put it up in the corner somewhere on a tripod and go do your thing.
Oh yeah, web it up.
Yeah, web it up on the top of the
Web it up in the corner.
I wish I had Spidey's web.
That's the way to do it.
Last like 2 or 3 hours, man.
Yeah. What'd you say, Sada?
I said this is the best way to do it.
Oh yeah, that's works for Spidey, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of Spade and I was gonna say, oh no, give me a minute. Go ahead, Stu. Go ahead.
No. I was going to ask Sada. I see the woods in the background. I thought she was,
she's on a nature hike.
Nah, I'm on a nature hike. So these are my surroundings.
Nice. So I wanted to read this little thing here. We got Superman right here because Spade is kind of our resident Superman expert, and definitely the biggest Superman fan I know. So we've always wondered. It's always been a big question in the back of all of our minds: why Superman wears underwear on the outside of his costume? So. It's the question that stumped Superman fans for years. Why does the Man still wear his underwear on the outside? Comic book legend Grant Morrison seemingly discovered the answer by digging into the past. We have so Clark Kent's fashion faux pas has been sort of the part of his image, right, since the moment that he burst onto the comic scene way back in the 30s. And with a pair of his crimson trunks breaking up the field of blue, Superman is possibly, if not the most recognizable costume in all of comics, one of the most, if not the most recognized symbol across the world. However, that recognition doesn't come without a few jokes at the expense of the shorts' resemblance to underwear. Over the years, Superman has seen a few, alterations to his outfit, trading the trunks for a belt or just abandoning the red altogether. But no matter how, he changes the outfit or how many changes it goes through, the red underwear look is just too iconic to depart with for good. Spade, before I go into the actual reason, did this ever cross your mind?
It did, and I was like shifting from the wrestler to the comic now. I used to get like pissed when everybody would make jokes about it because Superman is my favorite. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all. The billionaire playboy does the same damn thing.
Right.
And I'm like,
but it just looks cooler. It just looks cooler. That's all.
I don't care how it looks. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, but it just
like,
looks
cool. People be like, well, why does Superman wear his underwear on the outside? I'm like, why did Batman wear his on the outside? I'm like, you got plenty of superheroes that wear their underwear on the outside. I was like, Captain America did it one time.
That's true. Well, despite the popularity of his of Superman's costume, it is definitely still worth asking why the outfit was designed that way in the first place. So it's not yet, and you're right, Spade. They designed a lot of superheroes that way, and I've always wondered why. Like, what is that? Because I thought, because as a little kid, you dress up as Superman, you throw your tidy whities on the outside, like, or you know what I mean, and throw your towel, wrap your towel around your neck, and you got your Superman cape.
Superman.
Yeah, but comic book writer Grant Morrison may have found the underwear's origin in the most unexpected place, the 1930s. In their analytical superhero book, Super Gods, Morrison relates a story where they discovered vintage photographs of circus strongmen. Noted that, like Superman, the sideshow performer also wore tights and belts as part of their stage persona. And he says in the book, underpants on tights were signifiers of extra masculine strength and endurance in 1938. The cape, showman-like, boots, belt, skin-tight spandex were all derived from circus outfits and helped to emphasize the performative, even freak show-esque aspect of Superman's adventures. Lifting bridges, stopping trains with his bare hands, wrestling elephants. These were super strongman feats that benefited from the carnival flair implied by skin-tight spandex. So Morrison's discovery seriously helps contextualize Superman's outfit for modern audiences. After all, despite their prevalence in the early 20th century, circuses and sideshows are nowhere near as common today. Something that we sort of have moved away from as a culture. Just sort of pointing and gawking at people who are different is not really kosher these days. It's not really PC. So we don't do it as much. But the chances of anyone looking at the Man of Steel's costume and thinking strongman are incredibly low these days, because due to how far removed from society, how far removed society is from the 1930s. Back then the hero was essentially an exaggeration of the strongman ideal, right? Someone who broke past the limits of what the average person could do. And the costume and its colorful trunks easily communicated that Superman was a stronger, more capable being, something that readers would discover themselves as they open the pages of Action Comics to see Clark outrace a train or stop a speeding bullet. Because remember, guys, back then, Superman wasn't flying around or going into space.
No,
he didn't fly at all.
He jumped. Yeah, he leaped. Yeah, he leaped over. Yeah, he jumped.
Right.
Yeah.
Much like the Hulk does, he jumped really far. Right. That's why I would leap tall buildings in a single bound. As a kid, I used to always wonder, leap tall buildings in a single bound. Why would he leap? He flies. Right. Because that's
right.
But that was actually the case. He actually did jump. He never flew in the beginning. So that was something they gave him later. So just to say that, like, he was literally just supposed to be a human, like a human, just stronger, just a lot stronger. Whereas, yeah, he's from another planet and all that, but they sort of, that's where it ended. They didn't want him to be too alien. They wanted him to be very American. So they yeah, he came from Krypton, but he's raised in America, middle Midwest, corn-fed, American boy kind of thing. So they didn't really talk about him being an alien that much, and he was just supposed to be a super strong guy. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that a good explanation? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, because we know Soup. We know Soup didn't fly until 1941, and before that, he was leaving tall buildings. But we do know that when they made superheroes, everything reflects the times. So it's like, if that was the thing back then to do, that was the thing back then. Like, it's just, it makes sense. It does. Now that I think about it, and I start thinking about strong men, I'm like, yeah, they did wear that. They did wear that. Yeah, because they wore the leotard with the half shoulder joint, and and they would always
think of that Young Justice episode when they were at the circus, and now it's kind of making sense. So that's a cool little origin.
Yeah, I think so.
Too much stuff hadn't changed.
I never really
even in wrestling, you will have people that have underwear on the outside, like long tights and underwear on. It looks like it's like one sewn outfit. It's a two-parter.
Right.
But only a millennial would ask that question, because nobody ever asked that question before except for these millennials. You gotta know the answer. Well, why does he wear his tights on the outside? Why is the sky blue? Why is water wet, my man? We don't know.
Why did Judas rob the Romans while Jesus slept?
But it's like microwaves and non-dairy creamers. Nobody knows exactly how it works.
So here you go. This is a sort of Superman-esque and underwear, Speedo kind of thing. There he is. That's gosh.
Yeah.
These guys were funny. It's funny though. Like, look at this. Look at look at this guy versus like today's Arnold Schwarzenegger or something. They weren't quite. They weren't quite as big as
Nah.
This guy's funny.
Nah, they were more natural. It was more natural back then.
They were more realistic, right?
Yeah, right.
They were more natural back then. Yeah, they was eating right. No GMOs, no human growth hormone.
That was gonna say that too. Like in certain quote unquote sciences was not invented back then.
Right. Right.
Or if they were, they were in their infancy. But
right.
But I can tell you this much: the general public didn't have it, and that's what these guys were using. These guys were true strong. They were true strong men.
True strong men. They weren't. Yeah, they weren't steroid pumping. Balloon bubble that just they just blew up with steroids. They literally were just that big off of pure natural. Just weightlifting, right? Yeah,
meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
And eggs. Remember Rockies?
Oh yeah.
Egg yolks.
Yeah, Rocky drank. Yeah, Rocky
gotta drink the salmonella. Yeah, you gotta drink
a 16-ounce glass of egg yolks.
Yeah, that's so gross.
Yeah, that's nasty.
And it's gross because don't you catch salmonella from raw eggs?
Yeah, what Stu was just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just, I mean, like I said, times change, things change. Like with Spider-Man's webs, until Tom McFarlane started drawing the way he did, nobody drew him like that. It was just a straight line. Like it was, it wasn't like the way he drew them, real intricate
with the webbing,
knots in them, the knots in the little top. Like it was dope, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got a first look at Shuri from Black Panther. Her new look. Let me see. Yeah, I got you. Can't wait for this movie. Wakanda Forever. She is in like a Sprite commercial.
Sprite.
I like that. That looks good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Yeah, first looks at Okoye and Shuri in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Either way, they look amazing. Love Shuri's new look. Can't wait to see. Yeah, people love it. People are loving it. Okay, now this is a good one. Let me see if I can get this up here for y'all. There we go. Yeah, there's some, I mean,
wow.
Quite a difference.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like the colors on the official suit, but the other one, the first one, that one's nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like those colors, but
was the one on the left is the Black Panther Part 1 version.
Yeah.
Right? And then the one on the right is it seems like they went less intricate and less detailed. They just sort of made it cloth, where the other one was sort of like some armor and stuff.
Yeah. I just don't like all the lines on the armor. It's like way too much. Like
pretty busy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really busy.
Yeah, very dope.
Did they give a release date for Wakanda Forever?
That's a great question.
Yeah, Black Panther, first looks, Sprite packaging made its way onto social media. See if they got a date up here. No, wait, did they? Phase 0 dropped a new episode on Wednesday featuring a fun segment where the crew shared what is Phase 0? Oh, Fantastic Four. Something weird. So Fantastic Four casting, Hawkeye season 2, Obi-Wan Kenobi reactions, and Phase 0.
And what about Thunderbolts? I heard Marvel confirmed doing Thunder. They got Thunderbolts movie.
Did they?
that's no, that's gonna be a mess. I feel like.
You don't think it's going to be good?
Because the description that they're giving, like, it's basically going to be Suicide Squad with Marvel characters, and the original Thunderbolts were nothing like that. So I don't know why they would want to pull from Suicide Squad. You could just pull from
Right.
source material. It just doesn't make
Well,
sense.
Suicide Squad's DC. Thunderbolts
Yeah,
is Marvel.
I'm saying, but
Marvel.
the description was like, it's going to be a group of villains that do missions that are commissioned by the government, which is basically
Right.
what Suicide Squad
Which is
was.
basically
So,
Suicide Squad. Yeah.
yeah.
Marvel's version of Suicide Squad.
And it's like the Thunderbolts in the comics weren't like that. They were like an extension of the Masters of Evil. They wanted to take
But they
down
were
the
villains.
heroes. Yeah.
Right.
But they didn't do anything, because of the government. They were their own thing. And so I just don't know why that is going to be set up like that. But hey, it could work out.
Yeah, it is, but it is. They are sticking to the fact that it is reformed villains.
Yeah,
because they were
on
originally
brand.
reformed. Yeah, they first appeared in Incredible Hulk number 449, as we know, and they were first presented to readers and to the Marvel Universe as a group of superpowered figures who became heroes to help protect the world when the Avengers were declared dead after the events of 1996's Onslaught crossover. And the final page of the first issue of their comic book, however, revealed that the Thunderbolts were actually the Masters of Evil in disguise, a surprise twist carefully guarded by Marvel. Subsequent storylines, the group rejects leader Baron Zemo and attempts to become heroes in their own right, eventually under the leadership of the Avenger Hawkeye, which I'm sure they're going to go and do because Hawkeye is... they want to do something with Hawkeye.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Yep.
But they are. They want him to be. They want to make him, and they should, because Hawkeye is a cool character.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, it can make for great movies. Not having big superpowers, it can make for great drama. But the actual origin of Thunderbolts came. Let me see. The pair also created Thunder Concept, Marvel, Bezic, and Bagley. Most of the characters used in fictional concept were reimagined versions of existing Marvel characters with additional original characters for the series developed by Busiek and designed by Bagley. The pair also created the new iconic hero identities for the Masters of Evil, and Busiek said, "The actual origin of the Thunderbolts came when I used to live in New Jersey and drive to New England to visit my parents. To keep myself awake, I'd give myself books to write and work out about 2 to 3 years of continuity. One trip, I assigned myself Avengers, and I came up with the plan that the Masters of Evil would ultimately conquer them by posing as new heroes and slowly replacing them. At the time, I thought it was a neat idea and filed it away." And then while his original reluctance was because he deemed readers would not have liked replacing the established characters and then having the new ones being villains. Doing that with one character, like what Marv Wolfman did with Terra, made a great sting, but doing it on a team-wide scale wouldn't work. And seeing a world devoid of many heroes following Onslaught made him revive the concept. But yeah, right now, about 4 days ago, news that many Marvel fans have been hoping for years, news that Marvel Studios is moving forward with a project for the Thunderbolts. The news debuted from Deadline with the reveal that director Jake Shearer will be behind the camera, and Black Widow writer Eric Pearson set to pen the script. And but absent from the news, however, is who will actually be a part of the team when it makes its way to the MCU. But the trade does note that Marvel Studios is in touch with certain individuals who already are a part of the MCU to make sure to keep an opening in their schedules for next summer. And Marvel Studios seem to be setting up the Thunderbolts team in a big way with Disney Plus series Falcon and Winter Soldier. More than one character that appeared in that show had a vague scene with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, who seemed to be implying that she was setting up a team at an undetermined point. And that in mind, we've made a list of MCU characters we think are going to appear. sound off in the comments, guys, or in the chat with what Marvel characters you'd like to see in the Thunderbolts movie. But Marvel Studios is already making their way for Tim Roth to return. As Emil Blonsky, Abomination, right, in the She-Hulk TV series. You've also got his Shang-Chi cameo, and his character would be perfect, for a spot on Thunderbolts, and I'm sure that's why they've been hinting at him, showing him. Though only recently appearing on the team. If there's going to be a strongman on the team, Abomination isn't a bad pick.
No, it's
but
not.
Yeah.
And his inclusion could lead to another character on the team. But then more on that later. But Baron Zemo, we already know, right? Baron Zemo was originally the leader for Thunderbolts. And so it would make a ton of sense for him to, appear on the MCU version. Though back in another prison, Zemo's time on the Thunderbolts, before it was revealed that they were secretly bad guys, came with him adopting a new persona, Citizen V. Marvel Studios could replicate this plotline on the big screen, giving the character a new lease on life and a new design for toys, because we all know this is all about merchandising, right?
Of course.
Toys, yes.
Always.
And Yelena Belova from Black Widow. Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova has already made waves in the MCU after appearances in both the Black Widow and Hawkeye. So her inclusion in Thunderbolts is probably a no-brainer. Of course, Hulk, right? Red Hulk. Unfortunately, William Hurt passed away earlier this year.
I was going to say, how is that going to work? Thunderbolt Ross is no longer with us.
That'll be a tough one. They might
I was going to say, too,
Comics has another Red Hulk, though. There was another military man, General Robert Maverick, that became Red Hulk. So, it's unlikely that Hurt's character would be recast after, his so many appearances. And General Maverick would give them a new character to introduce that they wouldn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they missed they turn with Thunderbolts when, all of that happened before Civil War. Thunderbolts got into a altercation with a mutant that could blow himself up, and he blew up himself, a school, and like 3 or 4 blocks of a neighborhood.
Yep.
And I think they should have introduced him then. Just giving that little bit of story, and then went on with the Civil War, because that would make it make sense. And you already
and Zemo was such a big part of that movie. And he is the creator of the team, so that would make more sense.
Yes, that would have made a whole lot of sense, and I just think they missed a shot with that.
Yeah, they definitely missed the best opportunity to do it. But Marvel and Hollywood ain't that smart, so they're still moving forward.
Put it on T-shirts too.
Yeah, put it on T-shirt.
Hollywood ain't that smart. Put it. Don't worry about the trademark. It's true, man. I mean, think about it. Think about some of the stuff we've got. Punisher, the first Punisher movie, supposed to be set in New York, but it's palm trees in the background. Dolph Lundgren's riding his motorcycle, and there's palm trees in the background. Palm trees in New York.
Yeah, they filmed that in Tampa, Florida, because I was there. Yeah. I'm serious. No bullshit. They filmed it in Tampa. I was literally there.
It's just so funny. Just how matter of fact you said it, like, no, I was there. Like, I know I was there.
Yeah. No, I was literally there. Like, I was trying to get in. A bunch of us went there to be extras in it, but we didn't get. We didn't make it in. But yeah.
He like, I will punish you. Get out of here, man. I'm not trying to hear none of that. Then we got Ghost Rider. They made one bad Ghost Rider movie. Then they turned around and gave us another bad movie. Like 2 bad Ghost Rider movies back to back. Same everything. They tried to hype it up, and people gave it a second chance.
I didn't hate him. I didn't hate him.
I didn't like him.
I didn't hate them. I knew they could have been a hell of a lot better. They could have been a hell of a lot better. But I don't know. I'm a Ghost Rider fan, so I was just happy to see something Ghost Rider. But yeah, no, they were not great. They were not great for sure. But yeah, so the roster for Thunderbolts has pretty much been set up. We know who's going to be in it. They're going to pick. They're going to probably have this other General Maverick be the Red Hulk. We also have Ghost, who was in Ant-Man and the Wasp. And he's historically appearing on the Thunderbolts, and this is a great opportunity to bring her back. And of course, Taskmaster, who should be a man.
I don't know. This will be a good opportunity for them to redo Taskmaster. So
Yes.
I don't know.
It's like I've said so many times.
Taskmaster.
Marvel,
Taskmaster. Yeah, Taskmaster
Marvel,
was like finding out that the Mandalorian wasn't real. That's how Taskmaster.
Yeah,
I didn't totally hate the Taskmaster reveal in Black Widow, but it was like you could tell it was a woman.
Right. I mean, I don't mind that, like, that Taskmaster was a woman. It was just how they handled it. Like,
I thought they had a guy in that suit the whole time until she took the mask off.
Yeah, that was kind of bad. I don't know why they had like
just the shape. I was like, oh, that's a female.
I didn't see it.
I thought it was God too because of all the stunts, and I'm like, why wouldn't you just hire a stunt woman to do the stunts if you know that the character's a female? Like, why waste this guy's time? Like, I just don't understand.
Why trick us? Yeah, why trick us? And
it was bad.
Like I've said many times, Marvel and Star Wars were already, in my opinion, leaders in media for diversity and equality. That's sort of what they always were. They were always really good at that, especially for a movie that came out in the 70s. Like Star Wars and Marvel, I feel were already leaders in that. And so for Disney to take it and act like they had to revamp it or cram all these, female characters or switching races and genders of characters, it was just overkill. And that's the problem. We don't have a problem with diversity. We love diversity. We want diversity. Diversity is great, but it should be organic. And I think Marvel and Star Wars were already organically diverse. They tricked us. It's less about diversity and it's more about feminism, because look at Star Wars. They tricked us with Finn. They acted like Finn was going to be the Jedi. He was going to be the star of it. He was in all the promos, the trailers. We see him with a lightsaber. He's force sensitive. What a cool story. A stormtrooper who becomes a Jedi. That would have been fucking epic. Yeah. But they trick us. They sort of push Finn to the back just for Rey. It was whack. But they did the same thing. Marvel's been doing the same thing. But it's not Marvel, man. It's Disney.
It's Disney.
Yeah, but I think that's a good way to put it. It's just not organic.
It's not organic. Like, we want it. We want diversity. We just want it to be organic and seem natural and realistic. But yeah, it seems inevitable that not only because U.S. Agent was a central character on Thunderbolts in years past, but because there's a history between the recently hired director Jake Shearer and the actor that plays U.S. Agent, actually Wyatt Russell. Shearer previously directed 6 episodes of Lodge 49, which with Wyatt Russell starting a series from AMC. And so there's precedent both on that page for U.S. Agent. Another one that I would be crazy to see, Whiplash. Remember Whiplash from Iron Man? He has long been a member of the Thunderbolts. But even this seems about as likely as, finding Bigfoot, because Mickey Rourke famously hated playing the character, and Marvel appears to have lost no love, no love lost between them. But might be funny to recast the role, and I don't think anybody would mind, because it was kind of.
It's like they're scared to recast. Like, okay, you having problem. Black Panther, we know Chad Boseman died. Recast. They're having problems with Siri. Recast. Do what you gotta do. Make the movie better. You know what I mean? General Ross. Recast. Come on, man. Just
right.
I mean, when we watched the Matrix, remember in the middle of Matrix, the first Oracle lady, she died. And so they came back with a new one, and she explained that, I changed my look every once in a while, but I'm still the same Oracle. Boom.
Easy.
They made it easy.
But you know what, Stu? You know what that took? Creativity.
Creativity, yes.
You know what's lacking in Disney? Creativity.
Yeah,
So
because remember, we got Harry Potter. If you paid attention, Dumbledore that started in the first movie was not the Dumbledore in the last movie.
Is that right?
Yeah, the guy died. The guy died during the second or third film, or after they filmed the second or third film.
Yeah, it's just
the original guy that played Dumbledore.
It's silly, man. It's really silly that they refuse to recast characters when they'll do anything else that's retarded. I mean, excuse me, I don't mean to use that word, but they'll do anything else that's silly. You know, like just by gender swapping is one thing. That's if you'll gender swap a character, why won't you recast a character? Right?
Exactly.
What's the difference? I mean, look at between Iron Man and Iron Man 2 is my perfect example. You have Terrence Howard is Rhodey, and then you have
and
I'm like,
then they put
people are really make the character. I'm like, but he's like Tony's right hand man.
Right.
Yeah. Hot take, I want him back, but you know.
Yeah. the ladies love Terrence.
It worked, man, because I'm like,
can you see? I don't know, man. Can you see Terrence Howard? I can't see him. I can't see him playing. I can't see him playing War Machine.
No,
he in the joint. He in the joint. He all soft spoken. Y'all put your hands up and stop. Now y'all stop
it a little bit.
You know,
just a little bit. I can see it.
Just look at the.
I like, so I like, he looks sexy in that armor. Yeah.
Just look at the blushing that we see. Just look at the blushing.
I know. Yeah, Sada, what's going on, Sada? I was like, wait a minute, yeah.
She's trying to
blushing going on there.
Play it off. Look, she's playing it off. So no, I wasn't smiling.
But you know what? A lot of people was upset that they switched Terrence Howard out. They were upset about that.
I was
happy.
I thought he did good. I really did.
I was upset. I was like, what? Yeah, I like Terrence Howard in that. Yeah. I like Terrence Howard. I've never seen him do a role that really sucked. He's a good actor. I thought it was weird that they recast him with someone that didn't even look even similar in any way.
Yeah, and I feel like Don Cheadle was boring. I just feel like he's boring, and that could be account of the writers, but I also feel like the acting is just like not. It's just not there. There's no oomph like there was with Terrence. You know.
I'm kind of the opposite, Sada, because I'm like whenever I watch like Iron Man, the first Iron Man, and like I don't see Brody, I see Terrence Howard, and it's always like, let me call my man Iron Man, man. You know what I'm saying,
man.
So it's just like, I'm sitting there thinking, watching movie in the theater. I'm like, y'all need somebody different for Brody. Like this just won't work.
It should have got Denzel to play. It should have got Denzel to play Rhodey.
No,
really? I don't know about that.
I don't think so. I think Don Cheadle did pretty good, and I'm like y'all. I like Terrence Howard. He does play some great parts. I don't think that was the part for him though.
Yeah, and I don't think he really dug it. He didn't seem to like it. He's not that kind of actor that it's like Harrison Ford. Fucking killed Han Solo. Like he made Han Solo. That's his character. Han Solo is Harrison Ford. He hated it. He hates Star Wars. He's not a fan of Star Wars at all. He didn't like doing it.
Hilarious.
He's not funny, but he's not into it at all.
I think famously, what it is when he did Star Wars, just Raiders of the Lost Ark, and he was like the character that he played. Indiana Jones. When you look up the history of Indiana Jones and the way that movie was made, Harrison Ford was the star of that movie. And so now to go to Star Wars and you're not the star, you're the co-star, I think that's what it was for him. Because he always said he felt that Han Solo, the character Han Solo,
he did
push the story along.
He did Han Solo before Indiana.
Did he? Because when he did Indiana, I always thought it was the other way around. I always thought because Star Wars was what 77. When was the first Indiana Jones?
Raiders came out in the 80s.
Yeah,
Raiders came out in the 80s.
Yeah, because he had just, because I know he just came off of, he had just came off of something else. He was the star, and then he go back
well,
to, all right, I'm the co-star now. But when Empire was out, he was the star of Empire. He literally was on screen like 80% of the time in
yeah.
Empire.
No, Empire. He was definitely big in Empire, man. And but his problem with it was he thinks it's hokey and cheesy, and he doesn't understand the fandom. He doesn't understand how the fans are so obsessed with it, and he,
I don't
it's
care what
so.
nobody say. That's his most famous role, period, point blank. Besides Indiana
Oh
Jones,
yeah.
that's his
And he
most
didn't
famous.
want to
Because
be. Yeah.
nobody wants to see Clear and Present Danger. Nobody wants to see.
Hey, come on now.
Nobody's raving.
Come
Nobody's
on now.
raving about Clear. And I'm keeping it buck. Nobody's raving about Clear. I mean, it was a good movie, but
Ryan. Yeah, clear
ain't
presentation.
nobody, ain't nobody raving about Hunt for Red October. They're like, all right, it was smooth,
Classic.
but
I
I
like
want to
that
see.
movie.
Nah, it was good. But if you had a choice to watch that or Empire Strikes Back, what do you watch?
And me,
Oh,
I'm
well,
probably
me?
picking Hunt for Red October because I'm just not that Star Wars fan like that.
Boom.
Hmm.
Oh, you hurt my feelings.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Like, I'm not saying it's
Red
good. I mean,
October,
I'm not saying it's bad. I would love to
Hunt for
apologize.
Red
I'm not saying it's
October
bad.
or Indiana
It just
Jones?
was not. I never really got into Star Wars like that.
Yeah, me
Really?
too.
Yeah.
Really?
So I'm like, I never
Well, he
did see
was Harrison Ford.
but I was
Harrison
like,
Ford. Sorry, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead. No, I
But
was
I
just
was
gonna
like,
say
I
Harrison.
was kind of like a Star Trek fan, a little bit growing up because that's what I was exposed to first.
That's
But
Stu's
I'm
joint.
like, I have a respect for Star Wars. I just never really like got into it like that. So that's
Right.
why I would pick Hunt for Red October. But I like movies kind of like that genre too.
Well, okay. So what I was gonna say was, Harrison Ford isn't in Hunt for Red October, but it's it is a it it's an it is a Tom Clancy novel,
Mm-hmm.
which and it's the first installment of the film series with
Oh
Ryan Jack
it's
Ryan.
Hunt, right, it's Hunt for
Yeah,
Red
Jack
October, Playing Present Danger. What was the other one after that?
Patriot Games was the first one.
Patriot
Then
Game, yeah.
Clear and Present Danger, and then the Sum of All Fears, but he wasn't in that. I mean, Jack Ryan is a character that went on, but then Harrison came back for K-19, the Widowmaker. He was in Crimson Tide. That's what you're thinking of.
Yeah, Crimson Tide, yeah. That's
Yeah,
what
I
he was
think
like
he's
a
in
Russian or
Crimson
something
Tide.
like that, right?
It's a
He
Russian.
played
It's
a
a
Russian
Russian.
dude, yeah.
I think he's in it. Maybe. Let's see. No, maybe not. Maybe he's not in that either. No, he's in Clear and Present Danger. He's in Patriot Games. He's in K-19, the Widowmaker. But those are his. But basically, he's just not a fan of Star Wars. He just didn't like it. He famously didn't like it. It's funny to watch him sort of squirm having to do the role and stuff. But I've been a Star Wars fan since I was little. I was big enough to be a fan of something.
Mm-hmm.
My dad put me onto it. Like he first shout out Pops. What's good, Pops? He put me on to Star Wars. He was a big Star Trek fan, but then he became a big Star Wars fan too. He's good with anything sci-fi, anything to do with aliens. He's all over it. But I gravitated.
Uh-oh.
Oh, did he
Somebody
freeze?
freeze. I think he
Yeah,
froze.
man. Straight frozen.
Uh
Dun
oh.
dun dun.
His Wi-Fi froze.
Uh oh.
Wow. Well, I do know when Harrison Ford did. I don't know if it was Star Wars or it was rated. I think it was Star Wars. George Lucas got introduced to him from another movie he had. Because I think was he in American Graffiti? I think it was either American Graffiti. I forget what movie it was, but it was one of the bigger movies he did. And I remember watching an interview and they were saying, "Oh, I got this kid, Harrison Ford, blah blah blah." And that's how he got the role of Han Solo because it was supposed to be Al Pacino. Was supposed to do.
Wow.
He was supposed to be Harrison Ford. He was supposed to be Han Solo, but he couldn't do it at the time because he was filming Dog Day Afternoon.
Wow.
Mm.
and that's what it was. So he couldn't do it. They called in Harrison Ford. He did it, and it stuck, man. It was good after that. I mean, we liked it, we loved it. So, Harrison Ford is, if he doesn't like it,
my bad, y'all.
I don't know what to tell him.
That just shows how much of a great actor he is. He went for the bag, and he still stayed true to the character.
Yeah,
He did, but he did such a good job at Han Solo. People loved him. People love Han Solo, man. Like,
and people can't seem to replicate it. Like look at the movie Solo. Like you can't, like, even you get a guy that kind of looks
similar to him.
Similar. Yeah, but he couldn't pull it off. Now I know there's actors that could pull off Han Solo, that could act just like Harrison Ford. But that guy definitely didn't do it. And he made me wish that Harrison, had. He said that he talked with Harrison, that he sort of coached him or learned, but I don't know what he picked up. He ain't picked up nothing.
Did you watch the movies as well? Like, there's a little more you gotta do.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, did you realize that he's not a neurotic, goofy guy? Like, he's not. But anyway, Han Solo is like he's like the coolest. He's like the definition of cool. I mean, how cool is it? You about to go into the carbon freeze and die, and the woman that you love says, "I love you," and you just say, "I know."
And then get frozen.
Crazy.
That is the literal definition of cold-blooded.
Man, that was the coolest line ever. That was the coolest line ever. That's like mic drop. That's like mic drop.
That's mic drop.
That's mic drop. That's mic drop. Yeah, that's mic drop.
You can't beat it.
I love you. He was so cool and smooth with it. She's like, I love you. He's like, I know. And then they froze him. And she went and saved him after that. That's what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah, she did, bro. When he said, I know, panties just sopped. Just soaking wet. Just fell off because they were so wet. Just sunk down to her ankles. It was done.
Hotel keys was thrown all at the movie screen.
All at the movie. Some people's house keys too.
Yeah. So So yeah.
My husband's gonna be gone in an hour. Yeah, kind of thing.
As you can just get in the Millennium Falcon and come on.
Sleep in the window here.
Yeah, just use the Millennium Falcon to come in the window. Leave Chewie outside. He might shed on the furniture.
But back to the Thunderbolts. So the Thunderbolts, we did Whiplash and Winter Soldier, obviously another classic member of the Thunderbolts. Previously was the leader of the Thunderbolts. The inclusion of Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes would give the character a new place to appear in the MCU, but also plenty of screen time with Baron Zemo again. And it's unclear if Bucky will ever appear in the upcoming Captain America 4 or not. So a spot on the Thunderbolts would definitely give, fans the Winter Soldier fix they need.
Yeah, that would be a weird one though, because of like his arc in that show. Right. He was trying to make amends and everything. So I wonder what would drive him to do something like the Thunderbolts and whatever.
Well, we could get Luke Cage. We get Luke Cage as a Thunderbolt.
Oh yeah, that could work. I mean, especially with the end of season 2.
But can't he be?
Because they haven't really. Because you gotta think about it. They haven't really said anything about, redoing the series. We know we're getting a Daredevil on Disney Plus, but they haven't said anything about Luke Cage, and Luke Cage would be a good Thunderbolt. Wasn't he a Thunderbolt? He was a Thunderbolt already.
Yeah, was he?
Yeah, we got Black Widow was a Thunderbolt. We get Black Widow. She can make a return. I mean, but they would have to do like an earlier version.
Dead. Oh,
yeah,
right. Just
and Punisher. They haven't done it. They haven't done anything with Punisher either. Punisher could be reintroduced as a Thunderbolt.
Yeah,
Venom.
And Marvel wouldn't use an opportunity like this not to expand the MCU with at least one new character.
Deadpool could be a Thunderbolt.
Yeah, and the Thunderbolts have had a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of other characters. There's Moonstone. There's Beetle, Hyperion,
Bullseye,
Songbird, Bullseye, Venom, Swordsman,
Norman Osborn.
Yeah,
Norman Osborn.
So much
of
they
course.
could do.
There was there was Norman Osborn's Thunderbolts, right? Which had Norman Osborn, obviously, Moonstone, Bullseye, Penance, Radioactive Man, Songbird, Swordsman, and Venom. But then Hammer's Thunderbolts, the group Hammer, Hammer, which was in Iron Man. Remember Hammer? And right, and so that one was actually Black Widow, Ghost, Paladin, Headsman,
Helmet, Zemo,
Grizzly, Scourge, Zemo. Well, Luke Cage's Thunderbolts, was Zemo and Luke Cage's?
Was it Helmet Zemo or was it Baron?
Baron. A brand new team of Thunderbolts appears in the aftermath of Siege. So if you guys saw or read Siege or not, I don't know, but Siege is a great storyline. And then the Heroic Age storyline. So in comics like Hickman's Shield joint, but Captain Steve Rogers brings Luke Cage to the raft to assemble a new team of Thunderbolts that will not be related to the ones that Norman Osborn previously assembled. And rather be criminals who work towards redemption again. And they recruit Ghost, Moonstone, Juggernaut, Crossbone, Man Thing.
What about Mach 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10? What about that? What about all the Mach? Mach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10. What about Mach? Beetle.
Beetle, yeah.
Right? Songbird.
But I hope they do Red Hulk. Yeah, I really hope they give us Red Hulks. Because that's the one where you have Deadpool, Elektra, Agent Venom, which I would love to see. Agent Venom, which is actually not, it's actually Flash with the symbiote rather than and Punisher as well. So that would be dope.
You could do Cobalt Man, who was actually Tony Stark in disguise.
Yeah,
he infiltrated their ranks. You could do that.
Yeah. And then Punisher, after losing custody of Frank Castle in the fledgling country of Bajalia, Baron Zemo and Jigsaw flee to New York City. And there they approach the mayor, Wilson Fisk, at the time in hopes of joining forces and actually taking, revenge on the Punisher. But Fisk sees it as a public relations, disaster, but reluctantly agrees and is promptly dismayed when Zemo reveals a new team of Thunderbolts at a mayoral press conference consisting of himself, which he's Citizen V. Remember, I told you at the time, which is Baron Zemo in disguise. And then Moonstone, Ghost, Fixer, Radioactive Man, and Jigsaw also in disguise. But then Mayor Fisk, Kingpin, he during the King in Black, Null, the symbiote god, when the symbiote god Null sort of encircles the planet in the symbiote goo and sets out to destroy every living thing on Earth, Mayor Fisk decided to put together his own team of superpowered operatives to beat back Null's creatures and save the city. And he secretly meets with 8 of these operatives, all known criminals who've been working in the city without Kingpin's blessing. You have Taskmaster, Mr. Fear, Batroc the Leaper, Rhino, Star, Ampray, and Snakehead. And these are really obscure characters. But right now you have Devil's Reign going on. And so if they stick to current shit, like Devil's Reign, during the Devil's Reign storyline, you have Kingpin, who sets up the expanded Thunderbolt units to help crack down on superhuman vigilantism, right? He's out there during Villain's Reign right now, sort of any masked criminal or masked vigilante is against the law. So he's capturing all the masked superheroes and putting them in jail. And the Thunderbolt units are tasked to assist the NYPD to take down the superheroes. You have Moon Knight is the first to be apprehended by Agony, Electro 2, Rhino, and U.S. Agent. And then Doc Ock, accompanied by the NYPD and Homeland Security, to the Baxter Building to do a full investigation on the weapons of mass destruction that might be located there. And Reed Richards, Susan Storm are apprehended. But Susan manages to get a Codex 7 off the Human Torch and the Thing, who evacuate Franklin and Valeria Richards. And then Shocker apprehends Darkhawk, but is done in by Luke Cage and Jessica Jones when he tries to sort of get them to surrender. And then at the Rand Corporation, you got Danny Rand, right? That's Iron Fist.
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist.
He's attacked by NYPD with crossbones. So it's kind of like the Jedi with an army of clones, right? There's one supervillain with an army of NYPD for each little task force. And Rand, Iron Fist was later mentioned to have been apprehended. And at the Daily Bugle, Taskmaster and Whiplash do a hostage situation to draw out Spider-Man. They beat him to a pulp.
Punisher saved him.
Yeah,
Punisher saved him. Yeah.
Elektra and her Daredevil appearance is hunted by Kraven the Hunter, which I really hope we get to see.
Or they could do Thunderbolt's army, because you could do a flashback to Civil War, because during Civil War, that's when they had the Thunderbolt's army, and that's Ajax and Aqueduct.
I really hope they do
Backlash, Blood Strike. Yeah, you could do a lot.
They botched Civil War so bad, dude. It was so weak. Civil War storyline. Yeah,
that
dude.
should have been a 2-3-part movie. At least.
It should have been 3. A trilogy.
Yeah. It was a lot you could have did with. It was a lot you could have did with Civil War if they didn't do.
They didn't tell the story. The whole Civil War consisted of a fight in the airport parking lot. Like that's not. No. Civil War is a fucking big event over many issues of many comics.
I think the worst part was
Iron Man, which ended with Iron Man and Captain America going at it. Right, which ended with Iron Man and Captain America going at it. And I don't know, man. Marvel. I mean, listen, like they always say, it's the
one of my top 3 Marvel movies.
I like it too. I like it too, Spade. I thought it was dope. But you know,
but you're right. Though. It did not follow the storyline in the comics.
Yeah, no, it did not.
Piece. Yeah, it did not. Because in the comics, it actually, in the comics, actually, you had the Thunderbolts. They were chasing a criminal. I forgot what his name was, and he could actually make himself explode like a bomb. And he did before they could apprehend him. And he blew up like 9 city blocks or something like that. And the school was in it. It was a school full of children. He blew up and all, and they were just like, right. But that's when the Thunderbolts they were kind of famous. So they were doing like a reality TV show where they had a camera crew following them while they were apprehending criminals. And they filmed that joint live, And it was just after that they had to enact the Superhero Registration Act.
And that's like the worst part for me. Like the Sokovia Accords meant absolutely nothing after Civil War. Like it meant nothing because next time we saw them was Infinity War, and who cares about that when Thanos is on the planet? So, and then it just never came up again.
Yeah, silly, man. And Secret Wars, they need to do a nice long event. Hopefully they spread that over at least 3 or 4 movies. They should just like in the comics, like when there's an event like that, they'll have like the Iron Man comics will be doing the Secret Wars, then the Wolverine comics will be doing a Secret Wars, like Spider-Man, like every different title will be doing something that involves the Secret Wars storyline. So they're like tie-ins and stuff. And they could do that with these movies. Like you could have, an Iron Man movie, for example, or whatever character at the time movie, and it would be part of Secret Wars. So they could really spread it over a couple of trilogies or whatever. I mean, they could make it because it's huge. It's a big event, and it's so much. Bringing Spider-Man, the mutants in. I mean, but with Thunderbolts, you have in 2015, right? Contest of Champions comic series, which is a universe where Iron Man and the Pro Registration won Civil War, with everything going in Tony's favor for 5 years. And the Thunderbolts in that universe are Captain America's anti-registration team, who buy time off their sentence with suicide missions from the government, similar to Suicide Squad. And this version of the team is led by Steve Rogers, and you have Spider-Man, Invisible Woman, Goliath, and the Punisher. And when President Tony Stark and his mighty Avengers are kidnapped by Maestro and sent to Battleworld, the government sends the Thunderbolts to retrieve them. And then they, of course, break out in a fight, and the Avengers and the Renegade champions, and Tony kills Steve Rogers and reveals that he used the reality gem to rig the war in his favor. Tony and the Punisher are killed then by Maestro shortly afterward. Surviving the Mighty Avengers and Thunderbolts stay behind on Battleworld after the fight and dub themselves the Civil Warriors. And I guess that's where you have the Contest of Champions shit going on Battleworld. But that's like you were saying, Sada, about them using the Suicide Squad-esque, making them go out. So it is in the comics that the Thunderbolts is sent on missions from the government.
Oh, see that like I didn't know.
Yeah, there is iteration because in the MCU. No, go ahead, please.
Oh no, I was just saying. I feel like with so many different teams and so many different origins, I mean, you don't need to write off the coast of Suicide Squad. At least for the film. I just don't feel like you need to do that.
True. Yeah.
No, you don't.
And you don't. But Marvel, the MCU has always, and I guess it's fine because we always say use the source material, but they do use the source material, but it's not in the way we want it to be. Like we want it to be from one storyline, but what they'll do is they'll take stuff from the Ultimate Universe and they'll take
combine it from the 616, yep,
right, from all these, and they'll combine it into one story. And we're like, when did this happen? From the comics? And it's like stuff from this happened in different comics, and it's almost like someone that doesn't understand that these are from different universes wrote these scripts.
Right.
So,
but they do always say that this is the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That's right.
And it's based on the comics, but it's not the comic.
Yeah, they have always said that.
They've always said that this is our cinema universe.
Right.
And then you got your comic universe. But this is what we do on the big screen because Hollywood just isn't that smart. So that's what universe this is. This is the Hollywood isn't that smart universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because Hollywood is not that smart. They always messing up.
Yeah, they stay messing up, man.
No, they don't care about us. They don't like us. They hate
us.
It's
all about the money, man.
Yeah, it is. It is. You couldn't have put it no better.
It is all about the money, and I've talked to people that watch the movies and might not read the books or watch the shows and don't read the books, and they enjoy them. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not knocking it because I'm like, you enjoy what you enjoy. And I'm like, all right, it's cool. You enjoyed. I said, this is what, and I'll tell them like, this is what happened in this particular book, or they took this part, and made one part. They basically Frankenstein, and they look at me like, yeah, like that didn't happen. Certain things didn't happen like that in the comic book. But again, I realize, like you said, Reno, they do use the source material. At the same time, they don't, because they'll take snippets, pieces of it, and piece it together.
Right. Yeah. And that's what we get.
But some movies, I will say that I have thoroughly enjoyed, even though people like vehemently hate some of them. I'm like, I'm enjoying it because I'm able to pick out what they use from the comic book I'm familiar with. Like, it might be a line, it might be a scene or two or whatever. And it's like, okay, I dig that because I read a book.
Yeah. Well, it's like I'm starting to hear people say that Moon Knight was mid.
Oh, I feel that way. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. You just thought it was meh.
I thought it was meh. I thought the first 2 episodes were great. I think the 3rd and 4th were like, 5th was amazing. 6th was whoa. Yeah. So overall, it was like, that's just to me though. But I'm not in the MCU, so
Yeah. Well, a lot of us wondered, like, well, is Harrow dead? Because we did see, and guys, Harrow, that's Ethan Hawke played Harrow. He was the villain, and we saw the Jake Lockley personality of Mark Spector kill him. He just turned around and just shot him 4 times, like there he is right there. He just turned around and shot him 4 times. So we assume he's dead. But you might think that puts a definite end on, but this is the MCU, right? We're dealing with a TV show where the main protagonist was rescued by an Egyptian god. So could not Harrow, have shared that same fate? Comicbook.com's Chris Killian had a chance to talk with Ethan Hawke about his new horror movie, The Black Phone, which looks kind of interesting, actually. And during the conversation, Killian asked Harrow, "Is he really dead, for real?" And Hawke couldn't say much, but it did tease that Harrow sure doesn't seem dead to me. He said,
"I'm gonna rejoin when I get home because I'm about to get in the car. If you guys are still on,
okay,
okay,
all right, be safe." But yeah, the Marvel build Moon Knight as a limited series. Though the character is expected to appear in another Marvel production, because Moon Knight was a Thunderbolt at some point. So this could be what they're doing with Moon Knight. He might be a Thunderbolts character. But the creatives involved, including Ethan Hawke, have said previously that they might be interested in continuing the story in a second season of the show. But the good news is that possibly it could be both. Hawke told IGN ahead of Moon Knight's premiere in March, he said it lives and breathes on its own merits. It functions as a limited series, and if people are engaged and excited by it, then it could be the origin story of a larger thing. And speaking to comicbook.com ahead of the premiere, Hawke explained some of the motivations behind, the cult leader like villain. He said, I think he views himself as a real apostle of the goddess Ammit, and that he's here to heal the world and rid it of sinners. And it's going to be a violent time, but the peace and the beauty that will come when it's all the sinners are gone is going to be worth it. And so this is kind of like the villain that Thanos was, right? He knew it was gonna hurt people. I got to eliminate half the population, but what we get after it is going to be so worth it, and you'll thank me. So it's like Marvel villains are always great at being understandable, relatable, not just pure evil, because that's boring. There's no depth. It's two-dimensional. And so I love that. And but he said, I think a lot of us feel that there are some part of, if you have any belief system that is strong enough, it gives you direction. A lot of us are lost and we don't have direction. We all long for a sense of purpose and a belief system that can really give that to you. And I think he's just doubled down on his goddess, and he doesn't think in nuance. He's absolutely uncompromising in how he thinks, because his dedication to this goddess is so complete. So in a way, he's very simple. Yeah. But yeah, and Moon Knight is, of course, streaming now on Disney Plus, and The Black Phone opens in theaters on June 24th. Have you guys seen the trailer to that?
I haven't.
Very nice originally, hence why she makes her debut in X-Men as a member of the Brotherhood Mutant.
Sorry about
that.
I'm not.
Oh, I am.
What you say.
Stop it.
I am.
Well, no. Yeah. So what are we thinking about Obi-Wan now?
I love the last episode. I thought it was dope. I'm not even gonna lie.
Well,
I mean, listen, it's getting a lot of backlash, man. It's getting
people
fans. A lot of people saying it feels cheap.
It does.
It doesn't feel like Star Wars. The production is not there. I mean, you can go out. The list goes on and on and on and on and on.
Well, people are pissed because it's Disney, billion-dollar company, hollering low budget. It was a low budget. Like, give me a fucking break. And another thing is, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's a legacy character. He's a character from old guys like me, childhood. He's not a character for these young kids.
But
so
remember what
show.
Kathleen Kennedy said before the show came out. We
Yeah,
have to
they're
move
not
away.
getting projects with the legacy characters anymore.
Right. Yeah, they just we gotta move away from them.
They are.
Gotta move away from Skywalker. But that's what made Star Wars Star Wars. I mean, come on.
Right. Yeah, you can't, but there is a cool horror scene in episode 4 that disquiets its eponymous Jedi. He's sort of like taken aback when he walks through the Inquisitor's fortress and sees the mummified museum of Jedi encased in like some amber type resin, and one possibly familiar face fans might identify is the Kosian Jedi Master Terra Sinubi, who assisted Ahsoka Tano in retrieving a stolen lightsaber in a Kurosawa-inspired The Clone Wars episode Lightsaber Lost. A few unknown Jedi Knights are included, but most chillingly, Kenobi freezes when he spies an encased youngling. There's a small child that is frozen in this sort of macabre like museum piece that they but with utter dread, Kenobi says it's a tomb, right? He's like, it's stark contrast to the last episode where Obi-Wan's expression glimmers with hope when he discovers that there are Jedi survivors who, that he might be able to help. But why keep Jedi corpses, right? Obviously, like a prideful hunter who mounts, heads of the game they kill on their wall, Inquisitors would love to sort of collect those demented trophies of their kills, much like the youngling helmets and lightsabers that we saw in the back.
Uh-oh, did he freeze again?
Again, yeah, he froze again.
He froze again.
He's frozen in carbonite. Frozen in carbonite.
Oh man. Well, since he's frozen, I'm a kind of bring up a question, and maybe a pop in you and I can talk to. Like when we were talking about the villains, and he was like, and saying which was a good point. Nobody really wants to see just straight up evil villain. It is kind of boring. But I kind of like that. But I'm like, why do you think they try to make villains so relatable nowadays instead of just I want to take over the world?
Well, because in today's society, people are kind of like Hollywood. They're too distracted. Like they don't want anybody to be that evil because they think it influences. So that's too masculine. Evil, listen, evil represents masculinity, right? I mean, no matter how you look at it, the more evil you are,
evil represents a lot. Masculinity. I'm number one. Yeah. I'm above, and I think that's the reason why. Because nobody wants to be seen or perceived as below somebody or somebody above me or whatever.
Right.
But I'm like, but you have if you have a super villain and their goal is all right, like say Thanos, for instance, like in the comics when Thanos wanted to wipe out, half of all life, it was because he wanted to impress death. It wasn't because, there are certain resources or blah blah, like he said, like my planet's going wrong. He didn't give a damn about that. He just wanted to impress death. But you get him in the movies, now it's like, in order for so and so to survive, I got to kill out half of all life. That's genocide. I call it mercy. And it's like, yeah, you can see that because it's like that's kind of happening on our planet. But I'm like, but damn, man, don't take the core of evilness away from. Because I'm like, and the reason I say that because as a wrestler, you're really not supposed to like to heal, but sometimes the heel is really cool. You can't help but like.
Right.
But other than that, it's just like in comics, though, like an Eobard Thawne or somebody. It's like, man, I think they kind of captured that great on the Flash because like you really want to see Flash just end up.
That's true. That's true. But in today's society, they don't want anybody that evil, Spade. it's like okay, if it was a female, like I look at it like this, man. There's a movement going on right now, and that movement personifies and pushes females to the front. I mean, I wasn't born in the '60s or the '50s, so for me to see a female character, I'm like, all right, that's dope. I like it. It's that baby boomer generation that looked at women as not being capable of doing things that men could do or being, you know what I mean? It's just them. That's just how it is. But for me, um, I think we always need a big baddie, somebody that's evil, somebody that's willing to take that step that have your mouth on the floor and you be like, oh man, did he just do that? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I think that's what makes, in any classic or great story, every hero has a villain, and that villain is always a big bad. Flash Gordon had Ming, and Power Rangers had Rita Repulsa. You know what I mean? Voltron had King Zarkon. It
Yep.
just, the list goes on and on. You can't have a good story without a good big bad in the story. You just can't.
I agree. You really can't. But what I'm saying is like, I don't want to have to sympathize with this villain. If he
Right.
got picked on in school, and and no offense to you, I know your job, but but around here, like around my area, guys I went to school with that either were bullied or were bullies became police officers just so they could still do that to somebody else.
Right.
And it's like, you're not really changed. You saw something where it's like, okay, this is a symbol of power, so I can, assert my authority over you. You didn't change. It was like, yeah, you could not be bullied, or you could not bully. You could choose to stand up, or you could be like, hey, I don't want to bully this person or whatever. But most like super villains, I don't want to have to be like, oh man, I kind of felt sorry for him because he lost his own planet, so he became evil. It's like, there are certain, and I'm not trying to sound callous or nothing to nobody, but it's like there are just certain things that's just like, look, that's the hand you dealt. I get it, but which path are you choosing? Are you choosing to go a more
Right.
positive life, or are you choosing to be like, I did this because this happened to me? So
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know,
true.
but that's me.
That's true.
But like I said, in
No,
movies,
I agree. I agree.
in movies and shows,
I
I
agree.
don't
I
want to
agree.
sympathize with a villain. I want to be able, like, I want to watch and suspend disbelief for a minute, and be like, man, I don't like this dude. Like, somebody just punch him in the mouth.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true.
And and it's like that. Like I said, it's like that in wrestling. Yes, for decades, you might have had the cool heel, like Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen. People liked them because they liked the lifestyle, look cool. The NWO, they were cool bad guys. But then you also get some that were, which now are some of my favorite wrestlers because I know inside the business, like a Roddy Piper when he was a bad guy, and he would shoot off at the mouth and do the most despicable things, not because he was hurt or whatever, it's because he could.
That's true. That's true. Even Ric Flair. But people
Yeah.
like the bad guys. People love the
Mm-hmm.
bad guys, man. They love them.
People do.
You know? Like when we make a Batman movie, people love Joker. They be like,
Yeah.
oh, Joker's in the movie. People, they go crazy. Oh, Joker's in the movie. Joker. People love it, man. And you can't even play Joker now unless you're going to do, you got to do an A-list job, to
Mm-hmm.
play Joker. Because nobody's going to take a B-list Joker. They're going to be like, man, who is this? Get him up out of here, man. Get somebody else up in here. And that's just what it is, man.
And just like you said, people love the bad guys, and Joker became so good at whatever he does. It's like, if it's a new storyline, they can't wait to see what he does to Batman. If it's something, it's like I look at it, I'm liking it like this. They like the Joker, even though they love Batman, but they still like Joker. But in a Batman Superman book that I got, Batman says this verbatim. He was like, whatever the Joker does to me pales in comparison to what Lex does to Clark. Lex is just despicable. And that's the type of villain I'm talking about it. It's just like, you know, you want to hate Lex Luthor because of what he does to Superman, try to make his life miserable. You want to hate him for what he does to Clark, trying to take Lois away from him, trying to rule Metropolis. You know, everything because Metropolis looks up to Superman figuratively and literally. That Lex is just like, well, look, I'm this and I'm this and I'm this, and y'all love this freaking alien over here. So I gotta destroy him. And it's like that's his motivation. Greed and jealousy is his motivation for wanting to destroy Superman. And I'm like, that makes him despicable. That's the type of villain I like to see. The one that's despicable, not the one that I have to feel sorry for or try to relate to. It's like, I don't want to relate to that.
That's true. That's true. No, that's true. That's true. Because without a big bad or somebody that you can't relate to, it's supposed to be what the hero's going through. You know, that's what it's supposed to be. That's why he's supposed to like, and the villain is supposed to be like the bully. You know, and that's just what it is. And that's a lot of people, they miss that. They miss out on that. People nowadays don't look at the big picture. They don't see it. They just see, oh, you know, I've seen this and why, and then they get distracted and they ask the wrong questions. But basically, like with Batman, it's about what he went through as a child, and then what he did about it as an adult. Once he became an adult and he was able to do something about it, he did it. He didn't get pushed around anymore. He wasn't afraid. He wasn't afraid anymore. He had a lot of fear. He conquered all his fears and everything, and he became like even with his body, like in the older comics back in the day, they always said Batman tuned his body to perfection. Like he made sure that he was in tip top peak physical condition in order to be Batman. That's what it took. You know, a lot of people forget that. They forget all the struggles he went through, everything he had to do, all his trial and errors, just to become Batman, just so that he demons the way he saw fit. And it wasn't about the bad guys. About what he went
like you hit a perfect point on that. It seems like nobody wants to see these struggles of the hero. And that's not what they're showing us. They don't show us the struggles of the hero. They show us the struggles of the villain. You know, you're like, oh man, you know, I kind of feel for this dude. It's like, no, he what was that movie my wife and I watched was Brightburn, which was the like evil Superboy movie. You know, like you kind of don't feel sorry for you dude, but at the same time you don't feel sorry for that dude because I'm like, what, you have power outage?
Yeah, man.
I'll be damned.
Shit with the damn with the fire, man. It fucked up my circuitry, and this house is old as fuck. I don't know why it shorted out, man, but I'm gonna sort of leave the lights down just so I don't short anything again during the show. So you got dark Reno, you got Reno Noir.
Noir. Love it. True to his name, true to his nature.
Yes, sir.
Right. Dark. Reno talking dirty after dark.
Dirty after dark.
I like super evil villains, like the Stephen King and Stan, the Man in Black.
Yeah,
we do too. Yeah, we do too. We do too. But like Spade said, why is it about the villain now? Everyone forces Tony's side. Yeah, Penance was creepy. You can make a Thunderbolts team in a video game. Ultimate Alliance 2, we'd love that.
Ultimate Alliance 4, you mean? Because they already got 3.
Yeah. I bet Moon Knight is a Skrull. Dr. Doom's not a villain. He fights the devil for his mother's soul. I don't like
Leia either in this show. They did horribly. Because Leia and Reba.
It's a tragedy. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's like, you know, they might have a tragedy, whatever, and I get it, but it's like I don't want to sympathize with this villain because I'm like, if he's a villain, he's a villain for a reason. But it's like, what's his motivation? Is he is Hollywood always trying to make sympathetic villains, or do you want to make despicable villains?
No, like like Nora Rash said, you just want to make them. You want to make them anti-heroes.
Yeah,
and try to make movies out of them.
Because a purely evil villain is two-dimensional, right? Like Skeletor, he's just two-dimensional. He's just evil. That's all there is. There's nothing else to him. He's got no sort of, relatable backstory or anything, and that's why they want to make them three-dimensional. They don't want them to be so simple and just so cut and dry, so two-dimensional, just evil, because then they're easy to deal with. You just stop evil with goodness. But if this guy's got a good intention, well, now he's gonna have followers, and then he's got people that are loyal to him, and then that's an army you got to fight, and so there's all kinds of. That's why in Moon Knight, Harrow had such a cult following. I mean, he had an army of people that would die for him because
that was a point. I don't know if you got to see while you were getting your lights situated.
I did. I was outside.
That was the point I was bringing up. Me and Stu were talking about was like with Thanos in the book versus the movie. In the book, Thanos was wanting to kill half a life, not because they were using up resources or whatever. He wanted to just impress death.
Right. Yes.
But they changed that in the movies, and it's like now you make it more sympathetic, just like the Avengers would tell him, like, I called that genocide, and Thanos says, I call it mercy.
Right.
And it's like we can see that like in our world now, especially like with the coronavirus being released and killing a lot of people. But I know resources are being used up, but at the same point in time with Thanos in the comics, he just was a despicable villain. I'm killing just because, not because I'm trying to save everybody else or whatever. I'm killing because I can, because I want to court death.
Yeah.
Thanos in the movie was like more of a sympathetic or relatable figure. That's what I was saying about the point of I don't want to have to look at that type of villain all the time. Give me a despicable villain that I want to see get punched in the mouth.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, because that's sort of what Thanos's crew was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. But not to cut you off, think about it. In Civil War, you got a point. Look at Baron Zemo. Why he was the villain. He was the big bad. He was the man behind the curtain. And that's why he did what he did, because he had issues. Oh, you killed him. You know what I mean? And then he tries to make a sad story to
Black
make
Order.
you relate to what he did, to justify what he did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why can't he just be the big bad? Why can't he just do it because I did it just because y'all live it?
It's just better writing, and I give them that. Like, it's just better writing to not just write two-dimensional characters. I mean, they teach you that in writing classes and stuff like that. Never make two-dimensional characters that are just cut and dry. It's better drama. It's more, it's just better story when you have characters on both sides that you could relate to. They've got their henchmen, and those are your villains that are just bad and just love to see knocked out.
I'm gonna break it down into a wrestling type terminology, because like this happened to me one time when I was wrestling as a heel. I had my first heel run, my first babyface run, and then go back to my heel run. And a kid wanted my autograph after the show one time. Again, I'm running heel, and so I come out, I sign his autograph.
But heels ain't supposed to sign autographs.
That's true. But I like a light switch. I turn my character on and off sometimes. I'm like, in Superman animated series where Clark was like, I would be crazy if I was Superman all the time. I would be crazy if I was Spade all the time.
Right.
So I turn my character on and off, and I'm like, I signed his autograph because he was I'm one of his favorite wrestlers at the time. He was like, I like you, but I still have to boo you. I said, why, little man? He asked me, he said, well, why did you join up with this group of bad guys? And I said, you'll learn when you get older, when you have bills to pay. I said, it's all about the money. He said, that's it, just money, blah, blah. Yeah, so like, that was my motivating factor then. And I was like, thought about it, said, you too young to understand, but you will one day. And so as a heel, I went out I had to be despicable. I was pissed. I might be pissed off that somebody's getting cheered more than me or getting more recognition more than me or whatever. So I went from a jealousy factor. I had to be despicable. The people pay money to see me get my ass kicked. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. Common denominator, they paid money to see me.
Right.
But if I had been that cool type of character like a Ric Flair or Hollywood Hogan or a Scott Hall, I don't know if it would have went as right because I'm like, all right, they bad guys, but they're cool bad guys. I always like the despicable bad guys more because it made me pull more for the hero. I'm like, I don't want to relate to that guy. I want to relate to, this one.
Right. No, and I get that point. But like, it's like they said in the movie Goodfellas, right? Jimmy always was that guy that roots for the bad guy. Like that's me. Like I always love the villains. Like I'm big in Star Wars. My favorite stuff is the Sith lore and the Sith mythology and the Sith stuff. And the villains just always look cooler to me. They always just had cooler costumes. They just look cooler, and so I love the villains. I've always been a villain kind of guy. Yeah,
I think there are. It's a weird trend of like reformed villains. I've seen it in both DC and Marvel, but I've seen it more prevalent in the MCU. It's very strange. Like I don't know why you can't just let villains be bad. Like we don't have to relate to all of them. We really don't. I want to see someone just want to kill them because you just don't like them. Like that's all we really need. And I understand a nuanced villain. I'm okay with that. But I feel like with the movies, it's not nuanced. You're just taking away from the villainy to service whatever you're trying to service, and it doesn't really work out.
Right.
So as Nornrad said, the worse the bad guy, the better the hero has to be. That's a good Nornrad,
and that's true. But just like look at Black Adam. What's the first thing? So heroes don't kill bad guys. Well, I do. And like Adam was never no hero. He's always bad. He was always in between, but he was always a bad guy. He never claimed to be good, but you knew he wasn't a hero. He wasn't running to save nobody but the woman that he loved. Exactly. And he was more of a bully.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You hit it right on the head, Stu.
Yeah.
Thank you.
One more question I had.
I like Invincible's thing too. That was really good. That's a nuanced villain. I feel like that's how you do it. I feel like that's how you do it.
That's true. He was a bad guy, but first you thought he was a good guy. But then when you found out how bad he was, you were like, oh, this motherfucker's just bad.
Yeah. Yep. And he was a genocidal maniac. And he did not hold back.
Dude, that episode where he come in and like murders his team, and I'm like, did not see
right
that.
off the bat.
10 times in the comics. It was so good. I love the gore. It was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
He beat his son though. When he beat his son to a pulp, I was like,
that was hard to.
Yeah, this guy's bad news.
But then when he stopped just before killing him, that's how you do it,
Stu is getting his battery, I think, for his phone.
Oh, okay, yeah. He says he gotta get his battery.
Yeah. Oof. Oh, Spade, you was about to say something though, weren't you?
Oh, because we were talking, because Stu and I were talking about that, and I was like, about the whole the subject started about making villains relatable or despicable. And the second question was something we touched on earlier about like death in comics. And it's like, why is death in comics not permanent, but in the movies it kind of is?
Yeah. Well,
a little bit. I mean, they even play around in the movies too with death, depending on what they do. They even play around with that. So
and in Marvel, death is an actual character.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's like the death. I mean, yeah, they get into some deep stuff when they deal with death in Marvel. There's lots of different there's like different zones, like you could go into the death zone and all of this, and like you could come the cancer verse and all of this. Like it's a lot. So with Marvel and with comics, they they can't really kill heroes, but at the same time they can't not kill heroes, right? So if they never die, then it's just there's no stakes, no one cares anymore.
Right.
But if they kill him, now they just lost, a big money making character. So they got to bring him back at some point. Because bottom line, you can't just. It's not like it's a TV show that's going to end, right? In Game of Thrones, you kill Ned Stark. Spoiler alert. So but you kill Ned Stark, it's going to get to the end of the show, and that's going to be it. With Marvel, with comics, you have a storyline, and you might kill a character in that storyline. But Marvel Comics ain't over, right? It's not like a TV show that's now over. Marvel Comics has to keep going, so they have to bring that character back some way.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. But it's like, like Death of Wolverine, for instance. You knew they wasn't going to keep Wolverine dead. Number one, he's one of the best characters they got. And number two, he's one of the biggest money-making characters they got.
Exactly.
He is.
But like, look at it like in the movie, you kill off Logan. Logan was his end. You kill him then. It's like, that's it. Now you have the little girl's gonna grow up to be X-23/Wolverine. So she's gonna take a legacy and what else? I know they've killed off several characters, and some of them brought back in movies like Professor X and Jean, and of course like Spider-Man villains in No Way Home. Spoiler alert. And so, but it's just like, watching the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies and Andrew Garfield. Green Goblin dies. Doc Ock dies. Harry Osborn dies. Who else?
Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sandman.
So I'm like, these people dying, and then, they brought back, but it's like at the time, there was that air of finality, like, they did. That's it. And I'm like, damn, they bring everybody back in the comics at some point in time, and then the movie's like, oh, we just gonna kill them.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said, the movies are finite. The comics aren't. The comics have to keep going, so they'll bring them back in the movie or the TV show. It's got an ending, so it can kind of end.
Right. And it's all about money.
I agree with Norton Rad. Death really has no meaning. Like movies and comics, there's no meaning.
Right. There's no meaning. Right.
If someone dies, you're in the back of your mind, yeah, they're coming back. Like in Moonlight, when Steven, or was that his name? Yeah. When he died, it's like he's probably gonna come back. And in the next episode, what happened? He came back, and it's like you let it hold for a little bit, and then if you want to, bring him back, fine.
I mean, they used to do that back in the day, like when somebody shot JR. Two seasons later, JR came back.
Yeah.
I faked my death just to find out who was around here stealing the money. I mean, come on.
Wow, you know that shit, huh? You was into that, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shit, that was a big shit back in the day.
Spade. Do I feel some hate? Because he missed it? Because he didn't see
No. Spade is my age, so we both was too young when that shit was out. We was little kids. We wasn't checking.
We was, but I remember my mom watching.
I remember my mom.
I was too. I had to go to bed when Dallas came on. They sent us to bed. Y'all go to bed.
That's what I'm talking about. I had to go to bed.
We're like, like, what's going on? Like that. Like, y'all go to bed. Dallas on.
Yeah, I was
if I'm be real, man, soap operas are the worst about killing somebody and bringing them back.
Oh, that's a statement. Yeah. If they die, they're coming back.
They're coming back. They're like, oh man,
they're coming back.
But and then Sada, to your point, recast and come back with a whole different face.
Right, yeah. That when Gwen Stacy died, that was crazy, and I think that's why it hit hard for me in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 when that happened. Something about it just felt like very finite, and it was great. I'm glad they haven't brought her back since then. I felt like it served the story, and even in No Way Home, they continued that because her death impacted Spider-Man so heavily, where he like lost it for a little bit. So
it made his character who it is.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they haven't touched that.
Darker.
That's
Right, he's a little darker. He was a little darker because of it. But in the comic, there was a what if I did read a what if, like what if Gwen Stacy lived, and if she had lived, they would have found out he was Spider-Man. He'd have been on run. Like it was killing.
Yeah.
Well, he wound up killing. I think it was Green Goblin instead of Gwen Stacy dying, and they blamed him for Norman Osborn's death, and he was on the run for the rest of his life. Like he was just straight up on the run. Yeah. So it's complications, but even in every timeline they've ever had in the Marvel universe, Gwen Stacy always dies. Like it's just something that just can't be avoided.
That's her destiny. So no matter what multiverse or what they do, she's destined to die and change
and die at a young age. Right. Yeah, she's destined to die young and have an impact on Spade. Yeah.
There's only one time where she wasn't destined to die, and that was in the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon.
And if that cartoon kept going, there could have been a possibility.
That cartoon, the writers were adamant they were not going to kill her off.
That was one of the best Spidey cartoons of all time.
I enjoyed that. I was like, that was great, and the dynamic between Spidey and like
66 Spider-Man, right behind 66 Spider-Man, which was
that was funny.
That was awesome.
See my new Doom poster?
Ooh,
oh, that's dope, man.
I love that.
Oh yeah,
that's fucking sweet.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, when are we gonna get Doom?
I used to have that poster.
Proper Doom. A proper Doom.
Maybe they could hold off.
That Doom, that guy. Yeah, when we gonna get this guy?
That's maybe they could wait, save him for something bigger because he has interacted with like literally everyone. He's a huge threat, and you don't have to like make him just for the Fantastic Four.
That's a real good point. Good.
He's going at it with the X-Men. He's going at it with it. Like he could be in any story. I feel like he was the obvious big bad after Thanos, but
that would be great.
Yeah.
A true anti-hero.
Yeah.
Because Doom, he's I've seen him have mercy on characters. Like he's not all bad, but he is all powerful. Like anybody that's tried to beat him, any big bad that was supposed to be unbeatable, Doom has whooped their ass.
Yeah.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
Right
Except for Maestro. He wasn't able to do Maestro. Yeah, Maestro gave him work.
Shoot, he ain't whooped my ass. I'm throwing out the challenge to you, Dr. Doom.
Take him on. Jump
Doom
out of the comic book and take him on.
He will rip your spine out. That's my Doom collection right there.
That's pretty cool.
I like that one.
I've never seen that one. I've seen the white one, but I've never seen the green one. The original.
I love the green.
Dope.
That's my joint, yeah. Because that's the guy on the poster right there.
Mm-hmm.
That right there.
Yeah, that's the Doom I never seen. I've seen the other.
There's another one too.
That's the one thing I appreciate about the older Fantastic Four movies. The helmet that they did was awesome. It was great.
Oh,
that's
the Superior Iron Man.
Superior Doom, Invincible.
Invincible Doom. I thought it was Doomtron. I thought it was Ultron Doom.
We got another Ultron what if situation.
Yeah, I thought it was Ultron Doom.
That's very plausible. Oh.
Yeah, these are my Doom covers right there.
Yeah, that one is dope. I have that on my wish list. I'm gonna get that one.
Yeah, and that's Doom with Franklin Richards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's infamous Iron Man. That's who this guy was. That's the infamous Iron Man.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Ooh.
Oh, that is awesome.
Nice.
I love that. Love that comic.
That's this one, the white suit. That's Secret Wars Doom.
Nice.
And then that's
super
dope.
Very nice.
Classic. And there you go.
Nice.
Do you have that not Fantastic Four, but like an X-Men issue where he's like holding Storm unconscious? Like he almost grabbed a titty.
The titty grab. I don't know. I don't think I have.
Let me go get mine. If you don't, I'm gonna get it and show it. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, get it.
Yeah.
Titty grab the titty grab.
Oh my goodness. Now I'm gonna go watch those Fantastic Four movies. You know, they weren't the best, but I think the casting was pretty great.
Which one?
The one with Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, Ian Gruffudd. I thought he was a great read. It's just the story did not support that.
I actually had fun with them movies, man.
Those movies are my guilty.
They were fun.
But Silver Surfer, he looked incredible. Oh my God, he looked incredible.
Yeah. And Lawrence Fishburne voiced him.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne voiced the Silver Surfer in that movie.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because he had he played another person too in that movie. Some government official, I think. I forget his name.
I'm like, man, and that, like I said, I go back and watch them now, and I'm like, everybody hates the movie. I'm like, I actually had fun watching them.
Yeah, I thought it was great. They just didn't use their powers enough, but otherwise,
didn't at all, if at all.
Yeah, they did the whole montage. No one used their powers.
Oh no! Don't forget. Don't forget.
Tell you about.
Oh, nah, I damn sure need that one. Which issue is that?
145.
Okay.
Oh, that's a dope cover.
Yeah, he's holding damn near holding a booby right there. His thumb is touching nipple. His thumb is touching nipple. But yeah, that's a sick cover. I need that. That's 145.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How much you want for
it? I ain't selling this one. I ain't selling this one. And no trades either.
Oh, I agree, Norn Rad. I don't even know why Galactus was in the movie.
Yeah, that one they did wrong, Galactus.
Look, Galactus wasn't in the movie. That was just a cloud.
That was a cloud.
That was a cloud. That was
just a cloud. You thought it was.
People were just as pissed at that.
Okay, Spade, we believe you.
As they were at finding out that the Mandarin wasn't real.
You're damn right.
Yeah, people ready to fight. That was Galactus. It was throwing popcorn at the screen.
Yeah.
He's like, you didn't even need to do that. You didn't even need to do that at all, actually. If you just do post-credit scene, show a big old hand. Cut. That's it.
Yeah. When we watched it in theaters, man, and they showed, or saw the cloud, like, oh, this is Galactus, people started booing.
Yeah. Oh.
They were booing in the theater, and I'm looking around. I'm like, "Oh shit, these moles are pissed."
That's awesome.
Yeah, because it was a ripoff. It was just like Stu said. It was just as bad as finding out, Mandarin wasn't in the movie.
Yeah,
that was horrendous.
I'm like, that's one of Iron Man's main villains too. He's like, you chose not to do that.
That was a big.
Aldrich kill him. I am the Mandarin. Like, no, you are not.
What?
They were selling that too.
At the same time.
Yeah, they was selling that too, Spade. The Mandarin.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
He was all dark. Yeah, he was talking like a boss. Yeah, he was talking like a boss too. He was like, "Yes, I'm tired.
I am the Mandarin.
I am the Mandarin. I have spoken.
I'm an actor.
I'm sorry, I'm an actor. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
like, we know you're
people
actor,
that was.
I'm watching you.
Yeah, I know people was ready to fight. Like, they were ready. It was like, look, I'm like,
I was so upset when that movie first came out. I was.
But I was super happy with Shang-Chi though. I love Shang-Chi, and I thought that Mandarin was dope in Shang-Chi. It would have been great. I mean, that could have been, Mandarin in Iron Man, easy.
Yeah,
That was super dope.
yeah.
Should have been. I don't know why it wasn't.
Yeah,
I have no idea why it wasn't.
I'm glad they retconned it, but it's also like, look at the missed opportunity. Like,
Absolutely.
Because it's like I always say, Hollywood just isn't
Ain't
that
that
smart.
smart.
Just aren't that
And
smart.
because it's like, why did you? Well, I think that they did it because they wanted Aldrich Killian to be the main bad, and they didn't want him to steal his light or whatever. But why? Do
right.
the in extremis story, then do
Like,
the in extremis story, and
right.
have the Mandarin story another movie. Like,
You know,
trying to make
that-
them.
The extremist story was fine on its own, paired with Tony's PTSD. That would have been perfect. That's all you needed to do.
What's really funny?
and Stu, to go along with your catchphrase, I'm gonna say my own common sense is a superpower.
Yeah,
Because like
It is.
Reno and
It
Sonic,
seems
y'all just brought it up. It wrote itself. The extremist storyline, Tony's PTSD, it wrote itself. You didn't need a fake Mandarin. You could have just said, Audrey Killian still could have. You could have done that storyline, kept killing him, do the Mandarin down the road or something.
Yeah, because Killian, I mean, like I said, in Extremist was a great story. It was a great story. They did an awesome animated comic or motion comic.
The comic, yes.
Yeah.
That comic was dope, bro. Yeah,
Dope.
I read that joint. Or watched it,
You know what-
whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I watched that joint. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, Extremist was good. Man.
Hilarious to me. Doom has a pistol.
What?
What?
Doom has
What you need with a pistol, bro? What? Like he has a
Doom
pistol.
has a pistol.
He has a pistol.
Damn.
Oh, Doom, it's rough and Laturbia, man. You got
There's virtually no crime
It's
because
rough
of
and
how he
Laturbia, man.
Yeah,
Liberia,
Liberia is no crime.
You gotta be, man. Listen, don't
crime-free
believe the
place.
hype. You
Doom
listen.
don't need no
Don't
pistol,
believe
man.
the hype.
Who is getting close to
Don't
Doom
believe the
like
hype.
that? In his own
You never
country?
know. Listen, you
He's
never
doing
know.
that.
That's why he got a pistol now, just in case some fool try to jack him at the light or something like that. You know what I mean? You never know.
Man, the dude don't never come out. He got blasters in his armor, in his hand. What does he hell he need a pistol for?
No. Somebody might have some alien tech and sneak up on him. You don't know. Somebody can have a giant magnet and stick him to it. You don't know. Take
The
advantage of
pistol
it.
ain't gonna help his
Funny.
metal.
It's funny too. Doom having a pistol is hilarious. It's like
Man, it's rough out there. Coronavirus. You need a
it's
pistol.
like a dude with a tank having a 22. Like what you doing? What you need a 22 for? You got a tank.
You never know. Listen, it's better to have it and not need it. Yeah, COVID. Listen, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Yeah, 6 feet.
I
like
guess,
that.
I guess so.
I like that knowing Rad. He got he should have a
It's
portal
his
gun.
portal gun. That's his portal gun. That's his portal gun. Now what?
Stu is coming down. That's the portal gun. You stand 6 feet too close, you're going to another dimension.
You going to it right. You're like, blah. I got you.
Oh,
Told you to back up.
That's some funny shit.
Coronavirus universe.
Oh, no.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man. Hey, Stu, do you know there's a spectacular Spider-Man comic book? I forgot what number it is, 180 something. But he actually fights a villain called Corona.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard. Yeah, we heard.
Yeah.
Services.
When the virus first kind of came out, I was like looking it up and I saw it on eBay. I'm like, holy shit, I'm gonna buy it because it was like somebody had for like $3. So I was like, yeah, I'm buying this.
Yeah, I showed that on the show before. Remember? It's that who is this new terrifying villain known as Corona?
Corona. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, that's gonna be. I thought it was gonna be worth tons of money and shit, but
Nah. I just wanted to because it said that, like Corona, the story came out like what, 92?
yeah,
92. It was almost 30 years ago.
prophetic.
Damn it.
Yeah, I thought it was mad prophetic. Very
It
cool.
was. But people probably was like, people probably was like, Corona. I'm using that as firewood because I want to leave. I want to forget everything that happened in the last 2 years. And like I just want to forget it. Just burn that.
Yeah, this is possible. But
and Spidey had on a mask when he was fighting Corona. He wore his mask. Spidey wore his mask.
He on a mask for different reasons though.
Is he?
He had to take Aunt May and Mary Jane.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Somebody got it.
It's got a bunch of new books in the mail.
Wasada, Young Justice Phantom's post-credit scene.
Well, that's dope.
Turned 2 DC heroes into villains.
Yes.
Did you watch the?
Yes, I did. I'm so excited. Spoiler alert: Mary Marvel, and Supergirl are going to be part of the female Furies for next season. Hopefully, if there's a next season, and I'm pumped. I'm so excited. I cannot wait.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
You have to get the HBO Max so I can watch that joint.
Yeah. The finale is like amazing. Definitely you should watch that.
Nice.
I was wondering when they were going to introduce Supergirl. I was like, are they really going to do it? And then they were talking about Violet's roommate for college, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's Supergirl. No, she's going to be a Fury, so that's going to be even better. And I'm excited to see with that.
I got this book called X-Men Collector's Preview. I thought it was a comic, but it's better. It's actually like all these sort of like facts and like it just sort of breaks down like all the different like mutant, X-Men sort of like storylines and characters, and then it's got this cool thing with like showing concept art for some of the characters, before they were created. Little interviews with the artists and shit. I'm gonna have to do a video about this.
You should.
Dawn of Destruction. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a video with this. This is cool. I just got all these joints. That shout out to my man Masher, who's been on the show, Chris Masher, for shooting me these books. He looked out with the books. I think this is a wicked ass cover.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
The colors and shit. Yep. A couple of Legion joints. Y'all remember Legion?
Yeah, I remember Legion.
Yeah. Spidey and Beast. Oh, this is cool too. New Mutants in this era. Look at Magneto. Look how dope he is. Like that's a whole new.
That's Magneto.
Yeah, whole new kind of Magnus.
Yeah, put it up on
I'll put it on the big one for you. Hold on.
Oh,
kind of buff.
Yeah.
Golly.
And that's Kid Loki. That's Kid Loki right there. But yeah, the art is hella dope. You know what, dog? I'm wrong. I don't think that was Magneto.
Oh.
I think that is one of these. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes more sense.
Yeah, I think it's because see.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, whoa.
Yeah. I was like, damn, they gave Magneto a dope. But there is a version of Magneto in all black like that, with a black armor like that. That's why I thought it was. But there is a black suited Magneto. There's a white suited Magneto. Of course, obviously, burgundy one. What is this? X-Men Unlimited #1. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
First X-Men, and I think that's Tex.
Is that the newest one? Is that the newest one?
No, that was back in like 93 as well. Mostly 93.
They're supposed to be releasing a newer one like that, but
this is fat. I mean, this book is huge. I mean, it's got to be like 100 pages.
Yeah, I'd have read that. I'd have read that. Sorry.
Yeah,
100 pages. I gotta do what I gotta do.
Hell yeah.
Let's see.
X-Men Unlimited Volume 1, Number 1, June 1993.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we did 100 pages back then because that's what people actually read.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, for a comic book, it's kind of like whoa.
Yeah,
well, people
actually
read and supported it back then. That's why they did it.
It's actually more like 60 pages, but yeah, that's still a lot for a comic. Comics are usually like 30 pages. It's like a double. It's like a double comic. It's got some cool art in the back.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, it's real
I
nice.
still have mine from that year.
That's gonna be red. This is a great cover of Mystique.
Oh, I love Mystique. So that is awesome.
Yeah, Mystique is a great character, and I love
that.
That is so dope.
Yeah, that's dope.
Oh, this is hot.
I like that.
Check out Gunslinger.
Ooh.
That is wicked.
Man, look at that.
Golly.
My camera's jumping, twitching. Shit. I'll be back.
That's a dope cover, though.
It is.
Yeah. Well,
oh, that's cool. I like that.
My sister would love that.
I know there's got to be a wraparound. Yeah. So I'm gonna put a clear backboard on this.
Ooh.
Sweet.
Ooh, that is nice.
It's like a plastic. It's like plastic foil.
Mm-hmm.
We was in the foil back in the 90s. That was all the hype. That was all
foil and like metallic like lettering, right? Like something like that.
If you didn't have that on your comic, you didn't have a comic.
Yeah, 90s.
Not back then. You did. You ain't lying, Stu.
Foil, holograms, and bars.
Yeah, holograms, like metal, like yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were big into gimmicks in the 90s. This is, I don't know. This is actually about the thinnest comic I've ever felt. This is like a 5-pager. What is this?
Is it a free comic book day joint?
That
must be from Free Comic Book Day.
That's a promo comic, isn't it?
I don't know. I know it's something to do with Capcom. It's something to do with their game, right? See, Capcom.
Oh, that's from
Mutant
that's
Apocalypse.
From
X-Men
what was it called?
You want the arcade game?
It was from the game. The game was called Marvel Superheroes.
X-Men Prelude to Perdition, Volume 1, Number 1, January 1995.
Yep. Yeah, because everybody on the cover there was in Marvel Superheroes, and then after that we got Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom was dope, but I think this is Capcom's X-Men game. Yeah, this is Marvel's X-Men game, Super Nintendo. X-Men, Mutant. It was something about Apocalypse.
Mutant Apocalypse. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was alright. The game was alright. I played it.
Hold on, let me get my
Nightcrawler. Is that a monocle? Is that a monocle there?
Yeah, what was that?
A jeweler's loop.
You see it all on 6 Element of Hip Hop.
Yeah, I had that game. Yeah,
see me pull that shit out. Nah, it's you know what it is? It's funny. It goes on your camera phone so that you can have a long lens.
Wow.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so you can zoom in and shit. It's a fucking gimmick. I use it for just that. Like if I need to see some shit, that's what I do with it.
I like that better.
Yeah, it works better. It's more functional. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Little video game joint. I love Archangel covers for some reason. They make great Archangel covers.
That was a decent game, Reno.
Yeah, it was. That was.
Yeah, I played that joint. I had it. I used to use Nightcrawler all the time. That was my favorite character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
always.
Nightcrawler was in there.
Yeah. Yep. And look at Method Man.
Woo.
Bishop.
Woo.
Bishop never looked so much like Meth. Let me
watch.
He really looks like Method Man in this one. I think this one. This is the one. Let me see. Can I? Yeah, like come on, man. If that ain't meth,
Oh hell yeah!
that's meth, bro. Method
What
Man got the M and everything.
what did you say earlier? Prophetic.
Prophetic. That's Method Man right there. Hell yeah, Bishop. Cable Annual, Magneto War. Oh, this is cool. Magneto War.
I remember Magneto War. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. That's dope. Oh, these are cool too. Marvel Comics presents Wolverine. They always have really stylized Wolverine. I really like when they make these sort of cool versions, like stylized versions of Wolverine. That shit looks wicked. Follow me. That's my boy right there. That's Tex. So this is a Tex cover. I love this artist. When you see Tex right there, he always has like very thick black line work. It just, I don't know, something about his style is really dope to me. Yeah, I look mad overheated to get my Bobby Boucher on. It's hot. It's hot in here. I got the AC and everything off. I don't want the power to go off again. Once I get done with this, I'm gonna I'll rewire some shit. But yeah, I just don't want the power to go out again. So I got everything off. So I'm sweating and shit. This is cool. This is actually a big square bound book.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I definitely would have to be all up in that. I definitely would read that and be all up in it.
All up in it. Terror Ink and Wolverine. That's a pretty cool cover.
That is a cool cover.
That's a cool cover. That's a dope cover.
Hell yeah, they did.
That's the kind of shit I like. And then we got some more Spidey and Wolverine. I kind of collect Spidey Wolverine team up books too. I got like 4 of them, but they teamed up a few times. Yeah, there's another dope cover.
Ooh,
that's dope.
That need to be on the wall, dude.
Yeah, trust me, some of these definitely going on the wall. Some more Legion Quest, more foil title right there. Some more Wolverine action, some X-Men, some more Legion Quest. Oh, this is actually really fucking cool. This is a great read. I read this Punisher and Painkiller Jane. It's hilarious. So Painkiller Jane witnesses Punisher like kill a room full of bad guys, just slaughter them, and she just falls instantly in love, just smitten. And she just sort of stalks him for a while, just follows him and stalks him, and then breaks into his house and shit. And he comes home and discovers her. He's about to kill her, and she's like, "I love you." It's funny, man. And then he's like, "Get away from me! You're crazy." It's dope. And then she saves his life at the end, but it's pretty funny.
Only Punisher.
Only Punisher. This is cool. X-Men Archives sketchbook.
I remember those. I remember that.
Yeah, this was. I remember it too, but I don't remember what it was. Okay. So this is more concept art for early designs of characters that they were making, and sort of like the commentary, the story that goes with it. Look, there's Cable. That's the early Cable right there. Early Cable designs and shit. So that's pretty cool. I love comic history. I love anything with like Marvel history or concept art, shit like that. I love this shit, man. Big shout out again to my man Chris Masher for hooking these up, man. He knows what I fuck with. He knows I rock with Wolverine and the X-Men. Oh, this is something cool.
Oh wow.
Sideways cover, but it's actually sideways the way it opened too.
Damn.
You read it like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's unique.
It is.
That's very
top
unique.
Bound. Yeah, top bound. You read it like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
This is some more a guide to a new world of mutants and madness. The books of Ascani. So if you're into mutants, you know what Ascani is. And it's a long story, but it has a lot to do with the Summers family and the future of in the future, there will come savers. These unlikely heroes will spring from a quiet sisterhood of telepathic women known as the Ascani. Theirs will be a never-ending battle against the evil apocalypse and the diabolical Canaanites. Journey to their time, one of mutants and madness, encounter the sinners and saints who populate this war-torn world, such as the tragic Shaivari, trapped by his past, a prisoner of his own conscience. Meet the ethereal wisps, ever dodging their ancient enemies, the Dagon. This is the place where Nathan Dayspring, the man who would become the X-Man Cable, grew up, where Ascani protected him, told him their secrets, and gave him their strength. This is their world. These are their legends. So, yeah, this is the kind of shit I fuck with, man. This is dope. This is like history. It is of the future, like a history of the future. So we all know Cable is the man from the future, right? He comes from some unknown time.
In Bishop, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Bishop, we know about where he comes from. He comes from the apocalypse world where, you know, all the mutants are like imprisoned, and then they use some mutants as cops, and that is what Bishop was. He was a mutant cop in the age of apocalypse. But Cable came from a different time than Bishop. He actually came from farther
we
in
know
the future.
that. Further in the future, yeah. Where with the techno virus and all, yeah, he's way. But his future is also, unlike Bishop, Cable's future is not etched in stone. It can be changed. Like his future pretty much can be changed.
Yeah, well, that's the idea is they're trying to change them all. Bishop too. They're trying to make their futures not exist. That's why they go back in time, because they want to help the X-Men stop what happens in their future.
Right. I think I read a comic where Professor X was saying, like, no matter what they do, that future is gonna happen, but they have to mitigate it. Like they have to make it as least volatile as possible. Like that they just don't know when it's gonna happen, but they do know that it does happen. And no matter what they do, they can never really. It's sort of like Flashpoint, like Flashpoint right now. Like they're doing it, but it's just not working for them.
Ah, yeah. Ezra's back in it again.
Yeah, we got iconic comic book artist Tim Sale has been hospitalized with what Jim Lee describes as severe health issues. What is up with these artists? What's up with the comic book artists, man?
Yeah,
the long Halloween artist Tim Sale.
What about Jim Lee?
Tim Sale is in the hospital. He's hospitalized.
But
Jim
did you
Lee,
say something about Jim Lee? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jim Lee is a good friend of his, and he said he described it as severe health issues. And you got to ask the question, like, what are these comic book artists doing, man? That they're, they're having these serious health issues, man. Like,
how do you spell his name? Tom what?
Tim Sale, Timsale.
Tim, how you spell it?
S-A-L-E.
Sale, S-A-L-E.
Okay, Tim Sale. Okay. Yeah. Okay. New York, blah 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 blah. Eisner Award.
We want to know
the Long Halloween artist.
Yeah, he's a Long Halloween artist. We want to know what are they doing that, it's just like, they're dying out. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just.
Well, it ain't just it's rappers too. Like We keep losing rappers. We keep losing comic people.
Man, we losing everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
Time is getting short.
That's true.
Man.
And Sada, what do you think about DC's celebration of Robin's bisexuality? And,
it's like a whole celebration.
Which Robin?
Yeah, and this week's
a whole celebration.
Why?
Because
Tim Drake. Tim Drake. They got
well, yeah. I mean, but like it's been known that
that's old news that he's bi.
So like, why is it like a whoa? Like it just I don't understand. I don't get that. Like,
well, you know why? Because that's the agenda they want to push.
Yep.
It's like okay, like just let it be. Just let it be organic. I don't understand.
He has a whole coming out story. I mean, I guess they're doing it during. I guess it's for Pride Month. You know.
I mean, okay with the coming out story, okay, but like the celebration, I don't understand because like him being bi, like that's been out. So I just
who cares?
Why like why do we have to like? That's like celebrating Batman for being straight for the past 80 years. Like it just doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
Like Bruce Wayne back to like, yeah. Bro, we don't care about your sex life. We don't care about your sex life. If we're not talking about everybody's sex life, why are we talking about yours? These are the questions. Why? It's like why? Well, okay. This is why people think that there's some conspiracy, some LGBTQ agenda to push, kids into being homosexual and stuff like that. And that's why people think that, because they keep doing these big, spotlights on it and big events and making it a big deal. And so people are like, well, what you guys are like pushing some agenda. It's what it makes it seem like. And so I'm down for LGBTQ for real. Like I really support the rights of human beings and all of that. But I think in their best interest, it would be to slow down on that extra shit because it's turning people off. It's making people not want to deal with it. It's because it's not organic. It makes people think it's some agenda. And then it makes the real ignorant people scared, like, oh, you're going to turn my children gay and all of this. It's like, there are stupid people.
It kind of is, like especially with DC, it kind of is an agenda because I'm like, I get it, like we've talked about before. If it's something that's it enhances or tells a story, great. But if you're doing it just because sales are dipping and you want to sell this one, it like an issue with John Kent came out and so many people went and got that or whatever, and I'm like, but they don't get none of the other issues of Son of Superman. It's like, what was the point of doing that?
Right.
They're exploiting it. That's why exploitation. Lazy.
And they think this is what members of the LGBTQIA plus community want. And it's like, and unfortunately, some eat it up. And it's like, they don't have your best interest at heart. I promise you they don't. Like, it's just crazy.
It's like with the whole, it's silly with the whole, woke agenda, because this is the same company that will pander to China by taking black faces off movie posters. But yet you're all about equality and it's fake. We see through it. That's the problem. We don't have a problem with equality. Come on now. We're not bigots. We have a problem with fake equality. We have a problem with fake wokeism, because I think it exploits and I think it does a disservice to people of color, to people of LGBT, persuasions. I don't know what you call it, but that's what I mean. Like it doesn't help these cultures. It doesn't do a service. It doesn't. It's pandering, but it's also opportunism, exploitation, and like I said, man, I just think it's a disservice. I think if I were a person of that community, I would feel like you're hurting our cause. Basically, you're making people not want to talk. You're making people not want to deal with it and stuff. You're turning people away from it by shoving it down their throat.
Right.
Wouldn't it be better to inject it subtly or nuancedly? Just make it organic. Like, oh, some people are gay. Like, okay, of course, some people. It's like,
It's like you said, it's just exploitative. Like, you could have taken this opportunity to give Tim Drake a nice new story, right? Highlight him because he is bi, it's Pride Month. Like, cool, great, but okay, we're gonna have a huge celebration. It's like, why? Like, it's just you don't have to do that. I don't know. It just seems exploitative because it's Pride Month. I bet you any other month they would never do this. Like, come on, like, it just
Yep. It's like
I'm gonna trip out if they try to make like some heroes or villains black for Black History Month.
I'm telling you, they're going to do it.
That's what I was gonna say.
They're going to introduce a black hero who's going to pick up the scraps left behind by the white predecessor and say, yeah, Black History Month. They did it with Batwoman.
Next Batman.
They've done it with so many other people. Like,
The next Batman, the Batman, Lucius Fox's son. That's So it would be like in there he goes. In Black History Month, we're gonna celebrate that this character is black. It's like, yeah, that's very exploitative.
Yeah,
I mean,
right. And it's just like you said with them taking, black African Americans' faces off of movie posters. I'll be like trying to make your own poster. We ain't sending a movie poster. Just make your own. Do what you got to do.
For real.
And I mean, why cater to that? You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, they're catering to it. They're bending to it. They're appeasing it. I'm gonna tell you why. It's because it's the biggest movie market in the world.
Many.
Yeah,
it is.
China is the biggest movie market in the world. They can't afford to not have their movies and stuff shown in China, and so they'll do whatever it takes. And I think if you wanted people to believe that you were quote unquote woke or that you were quote unquote equality and diversity, you would tell them, no, we're not going to take that off the poster. You can either not show the poster or you can, not show the movie, whatever you want to do, but we're not going to.
You're supposed to just tell them it's time for you to wake up.
Yeah. And they even make edits. They'll even edit movies. They'll even take characters out of movies and stuff. It's really disgusting. And this is the company that, the SJWs want to go to battle for. It's like, well, they don't care about you. They don't. They never have. They never will.
Nope.
They definitely don't care about the fans.
No, not at all. We know that. We know that 100%.
We know that by Obi-Wan. They don't care about the fans. If they cared about the fans, they would have gave us an Obi-Wan show worth the wait. We waited all this time. People can say we waited 5 years. Technically, we've waited like 30 years. We've waited ever since we saw first Star Wars.
Yeah, because everything was. I remember. Listen, first of all, it's nothing new on this, and then you got to remember too. We got, we had everything was just limited. Even George Lucas says that. Everything was just limited with what we could do. Like we could have did anything we want, but if we wanted to look good, that we had to draw a line somewhere. But then when they came out with CG graphics, now the sky's the limit.
Yeah, they made the prequels.
Yeah, you could do deep fakes, all that.
Now, now they got. Well, Favreau and Filoni they're making sure that, or they're trying to bring back Legends canon, because we know famously Kathleen Kennedy and the powers that be, the idiots that be at Lucasfilm have said that Legends are no longer canon, or Legends are gonna, and so Favreau and Filoni, they know that Legends are the best parts of Star Wars, some of the very best of Star Wars. So they are slowly sort of peppering in aspects of Legends into the new shows and movies. So I'm very hopeful that Favreau and Filoni will get things sort of, I don't want to say back on track, because they probably won't be, 100% effective, but they'll definitely be giving us some good stuff.
Right. Which we need right about now.
Very much.
I feel bad for you guys.
Yeah, we need some good stuff right about now. Because it ain't looking too good, So
it hurts.
Yeah, it hurts right now. I was just on Love Hurts.
The Flash movie is not looking too good right now.
No.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And everybody keeps saying the same thing. Recast it.
Just
like I said earlier, just
don't show the movies. Scrap it. Let's try again.
Just don't be scared. Recast that joint, man.
It's so damn stupid. They're so adamant about trying to recast Henry Cavill as Superman and like Ezra Miller doing all this bullshit.
Right, like
the hell you not gonna recast him for?
But that's why WB they ain't shit, because you didn't say anything about Amber Heard, and now you're not saying anything about Ezra, who's again in trouble or allegedly in trouble. Yeah, like Norman Rad said, he's literally on the run. Like they cannot find him. But we're not gonna recast or do anything about that. Like, come on, just
he really into the character. He really into his character. He's really into his character. He's on the run. He's really into his character.
And arrested at the speed of light. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
It's not good. And we're sick and tired of the was he Edward? Yeah, it's on the run. And we're sick and tired of the old beaten, Jedi that has lost his powers. Like, okay, Obi-Wan Kenobi did not lose his powers. He was raised as a Jedi. He's lived his whole life as a Jedi. You're telling me a few years and now he can't do anything? We know that's not the case. Like, we know that's not how powers work. That's not how the Force works. That's what we're talking about when we say that they've changed the, they're just forgetting the whole, laws of physics for that universe. I mean, that's just not how the Force works. It's not. And we know that from countless amounts of content. And then if you look at Obi-Wan in A New Hope, when he's a real old man, he was better fighting Darth Vader then than he was now. He was way more capable then. How is that?
And somebody made a remake, based on like today's Jedi. That was dope.
Hard. Yeah,
that was dope. Yeah, like there was like Force Reimagined with the way they fight in these new movies. And that was dope. That was, it was super dope. I really thoroughly enjoyed that. Like, if you haven't seen it, anybody in the chat, if you haven't seen it, you have to. You literally have to watch that. It's a fan-made film or whatever you want to, or short, but it is definitely matter of fact, it's better than some of the Disney stuff we got.
Oh,
and it's like 4 minutes. Yeah, it's like 3-4 minutes long, but it's better than some of these hour-long Disney shows. Like,
it's
like
so
you need
good.
to hire. Yeah, you need to hire whoever did that. You need to hire that. They need to be hired at Disney.
They do. They just need to take a look at this, because what they remade it to be was basically, this is what they meant in the original movie. Like, this is what they meant. This is what it was supposed to be. This is how we sort of saw it in our heads back in the early 80s.
Like how we saw Darth Maul and Obi-Wan fight. That's how Vader and Obi-Wan fought in this remake.
Right. Yeah, like so many fights back in the like fights from the prequels. Like when you saw
I don't know how they did it, but they got an old man Obi-Wan. He got his lightsaber. It's dope. It's dope. And they using the Force. Because remember in that fight, they didn't use the Force. They were just, swinging lightsabers at each other. Like in this one, they
did use the Force.
They Force pushing each other and everything.
Throwing them and shit.
Yeah, like if you haven't seen it, You got it. I forget what it's called, but if you haven't seen it, I think it's Star Wars Reimagined.
Yeah, it's
Something that
what is a
episode
new
3 or something.
They did it 3 years ago, but then just 4 months ago, they did a sort of updated FX it in posts SC-38 reimagined. And
Oh, they did.
I think it's so dope. I think that if you haven't seen it, you should probably see it.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
Norrin Rad, in
Yeah,
fact, you don't have to look it up. I say we watch it right now. I say we show it right now. Who's with me? Nobody?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Stays with it?
I'm with you.
That's sure.
Bro, I'm with you. I'm with you.
All right, guys. So this is what Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fighting should have looked like. It's what it would have looked like if they had the technology at the time to do these things, and it's what it should look like in the Obi-Wan show. We should at least get this in the Obi-Wan.
Run it.
We're running. I'm waiting for it to process. I got it. I'm uploading it now. So, but yeah, this is what it should look like. It's we saw Vader and Obi-Wan, old Obi-Wan and Vader in his clunky Frankenstein suit, sort of doing a very sort of whatever, but this is how it should have looked. Here we go. It's ready. All right, running it now.
Our long-awaited has come at last. The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
Only a master of evil, God.
Your powers are weak, old man.
You can't win, Darth. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Then I will show you the true nature of the Force.
There is no escape.
Didn't we just leave this party? What kept you?
We are running some old friends.
Is the ship all right? Seems okay if we can get to it. Just hope the old man got the tractor beam out of commission. Now's our chance. Go.
Come on, R2. We're going.
Ben?
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh,
Her door was already closed. Our door.
That's pretty cool.
that was wicked. You know
That
what I'm
was
saying? Disney, eat your heart out, yo. And yeah, that's how two force wielders should look fighting. It's like we got to see in the prequels how Jedi should be because in them old movies we had Obi-Wan, which is an old man, we had Yoda, which was a super old man, and we had Luke, which is a new young Jedi. He's way too old. Like Jedi is supposed to be trained from toddler age. Luke was 19, 20 when they started training him. So we never really got to see a Jedi at full force, during those original movies. So the prequels were great for that because in the original movies, Jedis are really a legend. They're really a myth. They really don't exist anymore. In the original Star Wars movies, it was we talked about them, we heard about them, we learned about them, and Luke was taught about them, and he sort of became one. But yeah, man, we never got to see him really in all their glory until the prequels. So, but this is definitely how Obi-Wan and Vader should have looked fighting. What we got in the Obi-Wan show is just a slap in the face. Like that was ridiculous, utterly ridiculous.
Your camera is agreeing with you.
Your camera. Somebody's using the force on your camera. Somebody's using the force.
Very low budget. And better than the recent Disney stuff. So Disney cannot fool us with that, because I literally heard one of them defend the show saying that it's a low budget TV show. Bro, you don't get to say that excuse. Mandalorian was just a low budget.
What did Slade say? Slade said it was extremely low budget. What did he say?
He said that was extremely low budget and it looked way better than the recent Disney stuff.
He's talking about the video.
Mm-hmm.
It was low budget.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, like you could see, like when Darth Vader threw the lightsaber, and then he used the force to try to cut Obi-Wan with it. That was dope, bro. Even when he grabbed his lightsaber, he just pulled it to his hand, like he didn't reach down and get it. He just force pulled it to his hand. Like Obi-Wan did the same. Man, and the way, and see, that's another thing too. Jedi are pretty fast. Like regardless of how old or young they are, their reflexes, they're pretty fast. So you can see how fast. Even though Obi-Wan was old, look how fast he was moving.
Yeah,
like he was. Yeah, even Vader's pretty old. He was moving pretty. You know what I mean? Even though he's more cybernetic, but
yeah,
Obi-Wan was able to match.
Vader was only 44 when he died. He was only 44 years old. Yeah, it was the dark side and being burnt up and wearing that suit and all that made him look all crusty and old like he was when Luke took his helmet off for him. But yeah, he was actually 44 years old, and that's crazy to think about. Obi-Wan was obviously much older, but yeah, like seeing them two fight, that was great. It like when he threw Obi-Wan with the force and like bashed him against the wall. Any old man that got yoked like that would have been through.
Yeah,
but he's a Jedi. He hopped up. He hopped up, and it was dope. I also liked how at the end when Obi-Wan fell down and he force pushed Vader. Vader didn't fly against the wall. He just sort of slid back to show you that, Obi-Wan is not as strong as he used to be, and Vader is way more strong than he used to be. So that was a dope, way to show that. And I also like how when Vader sliced him, they showed the cut through his cloak. Because in the original movie, Vader slices him and there's no cut. Like it just
disappeared, right? It just he just disappeared.
Yeah. Like how did you not cut the cloak? But yeah, so that was just I feel like they fixed everything, man. That was a great example of what a sort of rematch or whatever could be, man. And they kept promoting Obi-Wan as the rematch of the century and all this. I really hope that that's not what they were talking about. Episode 3.
What we just saw was the rematch of the century. We just it should have been on that level, even if Obi-Wan lost the fight like he did in his last one. It should have been on that level right there. Like that should have been the level of that fight. Like and Obi, like I don't get it. Like I said,
They didn't. They want Obi-Wan.
they don't send the 18.
No,
They didn't send
they
the
want to
18.
kill. They want to kill the white male star. That's what their agenda is, and it's like that's cool. You can phase the white male sort of leading man thing out. You could phase it out, but you don't have to turn Luke into a retarded hermit on the some island. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm about to say, Stu. Drinking out the walrus city. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that to my man. But yeah, and Obi-Wan now in this show got no powers. He's just weak and feeble. It's like there's better ways, man. There's better ways. You don't have to ruin legacy characters to bring in new characters. You could still bring in new characters and still let the old characters be who they are.
And if they was going to do another series, they should have did a series like Vader, like the comic book, the Darth Vader comic book. Let's give us a Vader series.
Yes. Glad you brought that up. I'm about to start reading them again. Those are so good, dude. Vader comics, phenomenal.
Nice.
Yeah. Give us a Vader series.
I mean, considering how they tackled Obi-Wan, would you really want a Vader series and from the same people?
At this point, with like you said, with the way they no. But if they do it like that video we just saw, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like yeah, I do want to see a Vader series, but I don't want the same people to direct it. You know, but if you get Favreau on it, if you get Filoni to do it, then I think it can be great because them guys care about Star Wars. They know about Star Wars. Dave Filoni is like George Lucas's protege. He's the guy that gave us Clone Wars, the animated series, Star Wars Rebels. All that came from Filoni. He gave us Mandalorian, and as soon as they gave the director's chair to someone else, Robert Rodriguez, Boba Fett, trash, because he's not a Robert Rodriguez is a great director. He should have been dope at doing this. You know, he's an action director. He should be phenomenal, but he's not a Star Wars guy. So that's where it fell short. And then this one, they gave it to Deborah Chow. Yeah, Filoni is George Lucas's Padawan. And they turned Obi into Adventures in Babysitting. The stuff that Leia's shit was just terrible, man. It's horrible. They had Leia running through the forest, being chased by 3 grown men, and she ducks under a branch just like this. She ducks under a branch, and the other guy runs up to the branch and goes. He literally bumped into it. He literally goes, I don't know what to do. That's all you gotta do, bro. It was just bad, man. It was just bad choreography, bad writing. You know, everybody wants to defend it.
I can tell you one thing. That video we just saw was not bad choreography. That was
great. That was
not
great.
bad at all.
Nah, that's good shit. It's good shit.
Yeah,
but
Disney
yeah,
need to
guys,
find whoever that was and hire them.
They do. I would love to see that, man. I would love to see. Stu, I know you see a lot of them because you send me some, but yeah, guys, go on YouTube and just look up Star Wars fan films, man. And if you really want to see some cool ass new Star Wars content, look up these fan films, man. These guys are putting together some amazing shit, and they're not Disney. They don't have big budgets, but they're putting together some really dope shit.
Amazing stuff. Yes. So, like you said, why is it that they say, "Oh, it was low budget"? Low budget has nothing to do with it. Low talent is what we have here.
Oh, that would never happen.
What Big Country said?
Yeah, because
the folks who have the fandom in their soul be the creatives in charge. Well, that's what happened with Dave Filoni. He's a creative with the fandom in his bones, and that's why Mandalorian was so good.
Yeah.
Donnie Yen would be dope.
That'd be a Donnie Yen character would be dope. That'd be a dope show.
Wait, what? Didn't Donnie Yen play in
He was in
Rogue One?
Rogue
He was
One.
in Rogue One.
Remember his character was kind of force
He was the
sensitive.
blind master.
He was
Yeah.
the
Oh,
blind
yikes.
master. Yeah.
He was wicked. He was mad cool. Yeah, that was dope. But check out these fan films, y'all. They really give it justice. They really do it justice, man. But we heard who was it that said it? I think it was maybe Bob Chapek. One of the guys that had Lucasfilm said that they are purposely hiring writers that are not Star Wars fans.
I remember you said that once before, and I'm like, that's the dumbest thing in the world. How you gonna write for something you're not a fan of? That's like saying somebody want to write a wrestling show that's not a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be any good.
Done, Spade.
Yeah, because then they can do whatever the studio wants them to do, because they have no attachment to what they're writing about. So
yeah,
it's like
having
knowledge. It'd
be like having Harrison Ford write a Star Wars show.
Yeah.
Don't let Harrison Ford write Star Wars because he hates it.
Yeah, he might, but I'm pretty sure he would have a better idea than some of the people that they got writing it.
Oh, I'm just kidding. I know he would.
I can tell you one thing. About it. He don't hate the royalty checks he get.
That's why he showed his ass up. That's why he showed up when they did the sequel trilogy. He was there.
Oh, yeah, he came for a bag, and I don't blame him.
I don't blame him. You got a real bag.
If they decided to unearth Indiana Jones, he'll be there.
They actually they actually are.
Oh yeah,
there's actually going to be another indie
joking.
movie. Harrison's going to be in it. He's like 70-something years old.
Yeah,
he's going to be in it. Yeah, he's going to be in it.
And they're 80.
It was a joke. Oh man,
because you got to remember we really only got 2 movies and a prequel, and then Crystal Skull wasn't even part of this series, and I think that's what they always wanted to do, make a 3rd movie to The Last Crusade, to be a trilogy in the series. Yeah, that's dope.
Right. Yeah, that's the concept art for Vader. That's what he originally was going to look like, sort of a longer snout.
Yeah, because you got to remember, Temple of Doom was a prequel.
Right.
It was everything that happened before Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right.
That's crazy that they're actually doing that. I was joking, but that should be.
Yeah, no, they are. Something else I heard too, like some sort of crossover. There's some sort of crossover with Indiana Jones. Damn, what is that?
I think I was
think about it.
It's gonna be.
It was like they're mixing Indiana Jones and Star Wars or some shit like that, or Marvel and Indiana. I don't know. There was some type of crossover with Indiana.
Oh, Marvel and Star Wars? Is that? No. I've heard something about that, but
yeah, no, it's not that. It's definitely to do with Indiana Jones.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of what it is. Yeah, I'm just calling some Vader covers.
Those are dope.
Yeah, collect Vader covers. These are all his Sith acolytes.
Ooh.
War of the Bounty Hunters. Darth Vader. Yeah, these are Darth Vader comics in the War of the Bounty Hunters event, crossover event.
Dope.
Crimson Reign is another dope storyline that's coming out. That's out right now. Crimson Reign. You see that at the top of the title right there, Crimson Reign. It's about the crime syndicate. Yeah. That's Vader's castle right there in the background. Yeah, Crimson Reign is dope though. It's has something to do with the crime syndicate. That was in Solo, the Crimson Dawn. Pretty dope though.
Word up.
Word up. Yeah, guys. Well, that's the 3-hour mark, and I am hot as fuck. I'm ready to turn my AC back on. So we'll call it a day. That is our
turn your AC on because my tummy is rumbly and I'm hungry.
And you're a poet and you do know it.
That makes two of us. That makes two of us. I need to balance out my blood sugar.
I wanted to say, Stu or Spade, that's a dope shirt. That Fulton Street boxing gym. That's Biggie. That's Biggie. That's where Biggie is from. Fulton Street.
Check this out. I got this shirt at Walmart some years ago.
Wow.
And I was like, this is just cool looking. So I'm like, rock it. So yeah, I rock it in my Spade persona. I got a Muhammad Ali shirt like this one too. That was what I was wearing in the video.
Okay.
Find all the best stuff. Go to Walmart.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Basada, only they get lucky in Walmart.
I know, Stu. You get the bottom of the barrel.
We don't get lucky at Walmart around here.
You guys got all the luck.
We can hang that up. Reno go to Walmart. Come off. Look what I found at Walmart while I was just strolling in there looking for licorice.
A rare figure.
Yeah, rare figure. One of the new ones I've seen.
Every Walmart is different, I guess.
No, but you know it sucks because my Walmart, the Walmart here where I live, don't ever have shit. I gotta go an hour away. Yeah, I gotta drive like an hour from here to the next town, where I'm at least twice a week. So, but I always go into that. That's where I be finding shit. But this Walmart where I live, it's just like yours. It ain't nothing there. I go check every time I go in there. I look just in case, but there don't be nothing.
I have to go either 20 minutes to an hour away to a good Walmart to find some good shit. Because mine is walking distance from my house, and I'm like, I hate going to it. They ain't got nothing.
Yeah, they ain't got nothing. But
man, walking distance, I walk to Walmart if I could. I just walk over there every day.
But it's just like they ain't got nothing.
Over there. Yeah, that's true. Some of them don't.
Yeah.
Like my Walmart.
I'm gonna hop off. Like I said, I'm getting hungry as hell, and it's getting late in the evening.
Late as hell, yes, sir.
Yeah, it is. Oh goddamn! It's already 9:45 over here. You still 8:45? Where you at?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, guys, man, I know we having fun and it's a good show, but we do have to. It do have to end sometime. But we will be back. We'll be back Wednesday with a great new guest. He will be talking about his new comic, his indie comic called Alpha Dogs. So we will be talking to that guy and talking about his new comic, Alpha Dogs. Looks very cool. And then, of course, we'll be talking about Obi-Wan episode 5. So don't miss that. Be back Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Saturday, we'll be back again, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for DC Power Hour. And catch me on Instagram because I do sell comics and this is my handle. So you can find me over there going live, doing live claim sales anytime, man. So don't forget 6th_element_comics. And that's our show, guys. We will see you Wednesday. All right. Peace.
Peace.